There we go. Welcome to another episode of the Midweek Mix-Up podcast with the awesome crew here and also the awesome chat. Hello to everybody. Thank you for joining us this evening. Of course, we'll be covering off some awesome little topics. As we've been discussing in the green room beforehand, news is relatively thin on the ground, so we'll just be having fun with the topics that we've got, having good discussions about them. Of course, and we have one of our reporters on the ground, Mick, straight from EGX this week for the Midweek Gaming Company. And he'll be giving us the lowdown on everything EGX as well. So any questions about EGX, if you're in the UK or even if you're from Europe and you're interested in going to that next year, or any questions about this year, of course, feel free to shove them in the chat. And of course, Mick can answer as many as he can. But other than that, before we get into anything, let's get our basic introductions going. Firstly, Pathieu, the man that is now
What's
at
up?
the very tail end of Cyberpunk, as we discovered just before the
Yes.
show.
We just discovered it.
How are you doing, bro? What you been up to?
I'm doing good, guys. I'm doing good. It's great to be live again, of course, with you guys. What I've been doing, of course, Call of Duty last weekend with you guys. We had some great times, but we're gonna discuss that as well.
Yeah.
Battlefield, and like you said, Cyberpunk. I just jumped in right before we started the show just to see what I can do, and just realized I'm on the end of Cyberpunk, so I'm gonna do the last mission probably tonight or later. But
Yeah.
looking
So
forward
how
to it.
did you like the game, man?
It's awesome. It's awesome, man. It's so good. If once I started like a few weeks ago, like I told on the previous show, I got sucked in the story so bad that I was sitting like till 2 a.m., like 2:30 in the morning, just playing. You know, like yeah, it's crazy, but yeah, it looks
It
so
is.
good. I didn't have. Let me just knock that off. I didn't have any big issues like bugs or glitches or stuff. So yeah, I'm enjoying this game very much. No.
Yeah, they pretty much fixed that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
it's
I
really
think they
minor
just
things.
yeah, and I think they just got a new patch as well.
Yeah, big patch.
What I
yeah.
saw.
Yeah, the 1.6
yeah.
is a major one.
Yeah. So yeah.
Awesome stuff. I mean, obviously, we'll be talking about Cyberpunk as well because, as mentioned, with not only 1.6, but of course the new anime Edge Runners, that has a massive revival for Cyberpunk. And in my opinion, I'm thankful for it because it's an amazing game and more people need to give it a chance. And I think a lot of people were put off by it when it first launched. But we'll jump into that as well and kind of have a discussion about that. But next up, General C. How are you doing today, sir? What you been up to?
Played so much of the Modern Warfare 2 beta. I'm ready for that game. I ended up reinstalling Warzone. Played a little bit of that the other night. Probably going to stream a bit of that tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So good. We're going to get into that later. I tried out DC League of Super Pets.
Okay.
Yeah, that's as far as I'll go with that. It's tragically bad.
What, worse than Peppa Pig? Surely not.
Oh, Peppa Pig was so much better than that. I'm not even going to lie.
No way.
That's the midweek mix-up review.
Yeah. Peppa Pig is better than
I played the
Super Pets.
first 2 levels
Not
of
as
this
good as Peppa
DC.
Pig. One star.
DC League of Super Pets. Just don't bother. Don't bother. It's awful. It plays like a really out of date 360 game. It's bad. But yeah, I played some more Metal Hellsinger today.
Yes.
Actually reinstalled Master Chief Collection
Oh.
because I'm feeling like the old school Halo games because we all know how Infinite is at the moment.
Yeah.
So, and I also played Grounded. So yeah. So
Nice.
didn't get much into Grounded though. I like what I've played so far. I'm only like 40 something minutes into it. I'm still finishing up the tutorial, the last tutorial mission.
Yeah.
I think it is. But yeah, it's a pretty good game. Crafting and all that stuff in that is pretty fun. Like building your little base and all that is pretty interesting. Still got to unlock a lot of stuff to finish off my base, but I'm gonna probably get into that a little bit more. It's pretty fun. I feel like Minecraft building games. This will sort of appeal to you. Obviously not with the Minecraft art style.
Awesome. Yeah, I want to. I really need to get into it. Probably will this weekend, to be honest, because I did say when it launched officially, I will jump into it. Of course, I'm not going to jump into a big game like that on a weeknight. So I'll leave that till the weekend, and I'll probably try a bit there. Maybe even stream some with you, Jen. Play some.
Yeah, I'll join
some
you for
co-op.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Next up, Boxenberger. Is it just Age 4
What's up?
or what else we've been playing?
No, it's actually a little bit more diverse than that.
right.
Yeah,
Went
well,
back and played Age 3 and 2 as well.
no. I'm sticking with Age 4. Yeah, Age 4 is you can really tell the season is coming to an end. Season 3 is about to start soon with the drop of the new civilizations, and
Yeah.
really that because people became really good. It's getting tougher and tougher to win matches, and it is like seriously. And then a couple of people, I've seen that trend online. What they do is they create new accounts, and then they intentionally lose the first 5 matches so that they get ranked really low in bronze,
Yeah.
and then they fight their way back to platinum or wherever they are usually ranked. That's really annoying. But other than that, honestly, it's still a blast. It is. The civilizations are now really all more or less on the same level. So in the beginning of season 2, like the French were really OP.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was just because they were easy to play, and others were a little bit other civilizations were a little bit harder to master. People have learned the other civs, and it's a blast. It's really you have to be on your toes in each and every match, and the adrenaline is always there. It's such a fantastic game. But other than that, I played Deathloop. I continued with Deathloop.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I'm not sure if I'm gonna finish it though. Honestly, I kind of, there are games that. How do I explain my problem with Deathloop? My problem with Deathloop is that ever so often I find myself having no idea what to do.
Yeah.
And then you go like to a manor, and it says like find a clue about this guy, and the marker for the quest is in the air, and so basically somewhere in that area there is a clue about this guy you need to find. And then I run around for an hour and I find nothing. And I know there are games that don't rely on like taking you by your hand and putting the marker everywhere, but then they have a good world building that kind of gives you hints what you need to do next.
Yeah.
And honestly, I have to look up too often the easiest and simplest things like on the internet, and I'm just not enjoying that. When I want to play a game, and everyone looks up sometimes stuff when they in the internet when they are stuck. But then I do that once in my playthrough, maybe twice in my playthrough of a game. But when I feel like I'm playing a mission and I have to do that 3 times per mission,
Yeah.
it just isn't good. It just isn't.
Exactly the same type of feelings I'm having with Deathloop, and I spoke to you about it the other day when we were on your podcast, and I've reinstalled it to see if I can get any further with it, but I don't think, much like you, I think I'm just gonna say it's not for me and pass on it. I think I don't think I'm gonna spend much more time on it. I'm gonna give it one more shot, see if it clicks at all, and if not, then yeah.
I said the same. Like maybe I played it in too little chunks, like 30 minutes there, an hour there. Maybe I need to give that game like at least a 2-hour continuous game time, but it's kind of hard to have that these days.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give it one more try, but if it doesn't click, honestly, Not every game is for every gamer, and that's fine if people enjoy it. My problem is that there are parts that I really like the banter in between Cold and Juliana is really cool. I like the combat. I like the idea of only having 2 lives before you reset the day and you lose your stuff. That's really cool. It's a cool concept, but that mission design is really not for me. So yeah, I downloaded Grounded.
Yes.
And then I started it, and like after I pressed start the campaign or story mode or what it is called, my boss called. And I had
You're like,
to get to work,
"No."
In my we always joke about this, Dutch, but in the industry I work in, we don't get delays, so I had to put down the controller. But I'm really looking forward to play Grounded. I hear nothing but good things about the story mode. I played Grounded a little bit when it came out,
And the
I
full
dropped
version
out
has reviewed very well.
Yeah, it
very
has
well.
reviewed, and I'm especially interested in the single player mode.
Yeah.
So I've done that. And I also played a little bit of Cyberpunk. I love that the Cyberpunk patch 1.6 added cross progression.
Yes.
You can now link your account to your CD Projekt Red account.
Is it
what's
still
called?
GOG? Is it still GOG?
Good old games, exactly, to your good old games account, and then you have cross save, and I love it. Like playing on my my console, and I actually also played a little bit via console streaming to my phone. Yeah, then I just go over to my PC. I continue playing it on my 3080 with RTX on and 4K, and it's awesome. I love that I can now go back and forth, and so I've every once in a while I just jump in there, and it is just a fantastic world that CD Projekt Red have created, and it actually made me even more excited for
Witcher's
the
next patch. Yeah. I'm so
getting
you know what it is?
goosebumps just thinking about it.
The great thing about that is the fact that CDPR have essentially came out. I think it was in their own investment call or their own updates internally and said, no, we're still on track to release that this year. I was like, really?
Exactly.
I did not expect that.
Yeah, everyone assumed that it will be delayed into 23 because of
That's going to get
Saber
me to pick
Interactive.
Witcher back up, because every time I've been delaying it and delaying it. But now, if it's got a next gen patch, I'm going to play through. I'm going to play through Cyberpunk again. I'm going to get, because I love that game.
That's the spirit.
And then I'm going to play
That's
through
the
Witcher.
spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So yeah, that was my gaming
Awesome.
occupation.
Nice mixed bag. Awesome.
Mhm.
Awesome stuff. Last but not least, Mick, how are you doing, sir? We're gonna go divert into a topic straight after we've got what you've been playing, because you've also been busy the last week. So, yeah, what you been up to?
Yeah, I have been at EGX for the whole thing really. Did come back early on the last day because we'd done everything, so it was not really worth sticking around. Yeah, plenty of gaming in the hotel and doing many steps, walking around the very large venue. And yeah, it's been a weekend of drinking with the rare devs and gaming in the stadium, or whatever you want to call it, the event. So yeah, it's been a good week.
Awesome stuff.
Other than that, like I said, it's not much really. A bit of grounded with my daughter before today. Stream that, and yeah, that's about it really.
Brill.
I'll keep it short so we can get into the topics.
Yes. Yeah. Well, first topic actually, Mick, is surrounding EGX, because of course the vast majority of us didn't have a chance to go to EGX this year. Of course, there was an awesome. Twitter was full of a lot of people, and I was getting a bit more envious the more I saw the amount of people I know at EGX this year. I was like, damn it.
Yeah, I saw Bad there.
Yeah.
Jed.
Jade. Jaden's around somewhere.
Yeah, Jordan. I saw him. It was him and his mate that was from Xbox Complete. Seen them. Seen plenty of
Jordy and
people.
Dave were there from Complete
That's it,
Xbox.
Dave. That's his name. Yeah. Crazy Legs, Craig.
Yes.
He's another lad that's he's on. See him on Twitter a lot. Saw him there.
Oh, you met him. Awesome.
Yeah, he was there.
Awesome stuff.
And just loads of people really just bumping into lots of the Sea of Thieves community, obviously, that I know and don't know but have met, which is nice. Quite a few of the streamers were there. I've met Beardley quite a few times, and I saw Beardageddon. He was there as well, and a few of some of the girls, Happy Kraken,
Okay.
Cyborg Angel and Nerdy Netty as well were all over as well. So that was good. We were on the pub having a drink, having a laugh. It was good. It's definitely the highlight of just meeting the community was definitely the highlight. The show itself, wow, I mean, we got nothing. Like I know that I don't ever really expect much, but I did expect maybe something. I got maybe 3 pin badges. One of them I bought.
Yeah.
You know. So there was very little in the way of freebies. They were not giving out anything really. A few stickers here and there. Yeah, wasn't great. The shows were good. I got to play Wulong.
Okay. How do you find that?
That was good. It's not my sort of game normally, but it's a bit less soulsy and a bit more. What's the word? What's the game? It's a bit like maybe a bit more Devil May Cry, a bit more sort of hack and slashy.
Okay.
But there are different styles to play as well.
Yeah.
So I only really played the action one, but there is like a stealth one and seems to be a few different variances of character you can choose. So that was good. I quite enjoyed that. I went back to play it twice. So that says something, I think.
Yeah.
Because there was this crazy ass tiger monster that just handed my ass to me every time I went near it. And I thought, I'm not having that thing beat me. It's really irritated me. I almost killed it about 3 times. And I blame it on the controller because I had to use a PlayStation controller. So when we went back the next day, I said, you've got Xbox controller. They had them on the Scorpio dev kits as well, actually on display with that you could see the unit and everything and the little display on the front. I was like, oh, I'd love one of them. But I said, can I go on one of them? Because I don't want to go on the PlayStation one again. I want to beat that thing. So I went back on it and I played it again for another, I think, a 15-minute demo. And I think minute 14, I killed the damn thing. And as I'm celebrating, like, yes! And the guy behind me one of the devs was like egging me on and to sort of give me some words of advice, things to do and different moves and stuff. Killed it, and then it just splash screen came up and was like, thanks very much, I was like, at least I did it. Yes. But yeah, great game actually. I'm looking forward to that and on Game Pass. So
yes.
know?
And I know for the
definitely
Sega fans in the chat, I know Vinny's there. Hello, Vinny.
Oh, Vinny's there.
Yeah.
Oh, Vinny.
Long time no see.
Vinny.
How is
I
Sonic?
played Sonic.
Yes. How was Sonic Frontiers? Did you get a chance to play it?
Okay, so let me set the ground straight away. I'm not a big Sonic fan.
Yeah.
Doesn't really do it. Never really has. If anything, I grew up as a Nintendo kid, so I used to play Mario mostly.
Yeah.
Every now and again, I'd borrow a mate's Mega Drive.
Yeah.
We'd swap over, and I'd have a go of it, and I'd quickly get bored and swap it back again because it was never really my thing. I enjoyed Sonic Frontiers.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good. Yeah, I know it got a bit of a bad rap. Was there a leak?
The first
not long
showing,
ago?
yeah, the first showing. Yeah.
Or was it an actual showing? I can't remember.
I think it was the first showing. Yeah, it got a bit of bad rap after the first time, yeah.
It got a bit of a bad rap, and it's still not finished. The version we played was still an early access version.
Yeah.
But it looked better than that.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, and I mean, that's only, 2 months difference?
Yeah.
Since we got that first look. So I wouldn't worry about it. Also, quite enjoyed the gameplay.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. And even Paddy, who we from See Tuesdays, who plays with us sometimes, he was playing it on it next to me. We both came out and said, yeah, that was really good, actually. I quite enjoyed that. So yeah, good signs, I think, for Sonic. I think if you're a Sonic fan, you won't have any problems, definitely. But I think it might even drag in a few people that weren't.
Yeah.
Might work on me, I think. If it's, especially if it comes to something like Game Pass. I'm not sure I'd go out and buy it
Yeah.
just because I'm still not a massive Sonic fan. But
I suppose it
definitely
depends
now
as
would
well how
definitely
much
play
it
it.
releases for, because we've seen some games
Yeah.
release for less than we assumed. Some of them, I've forgotten what it was recently, but there's been a few games that have come out and the pricing has been like £40 odd, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll take
Yeah.
it, but weird. But I mean, how did you find the combat? Because I know specifically one of the things that they've done on Sonic is add a little bit more to what he can do, as opposed to just bouncing on things. He's got
Yeah.
specific powers
He
and
has
attacks and things like
Yeah,
that.
he's
So
got some moves. Yeah, he's got like the one thing that I found was there's like when you press and hold the Y, you can run it leaves a trail, and you run the circle around. You make a circle around, and then when you release it, he does like a blast between them all.
oh,
But
nice.
you can change the shape of it. It doesn't have to be a circle. You could run round in a crazy shape, but as long as you reconnect with the end, he flies through all that section.
Oh,
And
sweet.
does like a rapid damage thing that you can do every now and again. That was good. That was quite clever. And there was other sort of bits where you have to dash in and just it auto locks almost and just hits the next thing. You just keep pressing X,
Yeah.
and it just keeps bashing off them and stuff. I mean, I wasn't playing it on the hardest difficulty, so I don't know whether it changes.
Yeah.
But
No, I think what we've seen back then with the Sonic video, um, because I wanted to ask the same question, by the way, Dutch, to Mick about the combat, because that was one of the things that a lot of people seen, and it was like not that good.
Yeah.
So I hope that they do something about that.
What did you think it was gonna when you saw the combat from that early thingy? What would you relate it to? What game would you relate that sort of combat to?
See, the initial gameplay just looked like
Yeah, that's a good
just
question.
more normal Sonic. It didn't, like in the original gameplay, it didn't show any of his power attacks or
Right.
any additional combat or anything. So it didn't show much, which was the issue.
Right. There was definitely quite a bit, and there was a huge column thing that came up
Yeah.
towards the end just before the game cut out, and I literally managed to bash it down to the last bit, and then the demo cut out. And son of a. So yeah.
Shout out to
But there's a
Fanto
lot of
quickly
sort
as
of,
well
like-
there, actually. Fanto was just put in the chat. It is £45 on Amazon and £55 for the Steelbook.
Oh, there you go. So yeah, with a
Yeah.
bit of luck, that's going to be that sort of price when it releases.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I think it'll sell at that. I think people will enjoy it as well. But yeah, there's definitely a sort of quite a bit of like auto locking onto things. It just you look in the direction and there's a target, and then you press X and it dashes towards it.
Yeah.
There's quite a bit of that. I'm not sure not having much to sort of relate it to.
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether that's something people want or not. I don't know.
I suppose the good. I was going to say, I suppose one. Sorry, Pat. I'll quickly get this one done.
No problem.
I was going to say the one thing I think is they've got to specifically with Sonic they have to bear in mind as well is it will be kids and adults playing it, so they don't want to make it hard. I suppose there's going to be, like you say, difficulty modes, and you can select to have auto lock or not.
I'm almost certain there was at the beginning.
Yeah.
But because I'm in a situation where I've got 15 minutes to play a game before they kick you out,
yeah,
the last thing I want to do is put it on hard and only get to the first couple of enemies before I get my ass handed to me. So easy mode every time, just to try and get through as much as I can in the short space of time. So yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm almost certain it did have a difficulty mode at the beginning. So yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
And also one thing is that with Sonic, if he runs really fast, you don't see like really a trail of like dust or things going up on the air. When he boosts. Did you hear anything about that? Like because it's still a demo, they're still working on it and stuff. But for me, it's like with Sonic, you should have that. Like when he has this boost when running, you should see like going dirt going up in the air and stuff. So because it's a for
I'm
me.
gonna be
It's,
I'm gonna be honest. I can't remember.
okay.
Whether it's just one of those things that was there, but I just took it for granted and didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
If it was something that I'd spoken to you about beforehand, I'd have been looking for it. But because I didn't even think about
Yeah.
it may have
No.
been there. It might not have. I really couldn't tell you. There is like a dash that it did. I couldn't figure out how I was doing it, but every now and again he would just go into like the ball and just roll really fast. But whether there was like, I seem to remember quite a lot of wind effect, you know, like the whooshing was making the grass around you part. But whether there's like dirt kicking up and smoke and stuff, I genuinely can't remember.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, who knows? That maybe we see it later if before release or. But
When's it due out anyway?
nice-
What's the
8th
release
of
date?
November. 5 weeks.
Right. Okay. Oh yeah. So Fantasy for 8th of November. Yeah. Yeah. I think you'll enjoy it though. If you like Sonic, I think you're fine. Honestly.
Awesome stuff.
Okay.
Anything else you got to play then that we haven't had a chance to play ourselves?
Played a bunch of indie games.
Yeah.
Wild Mender was one of them. It was like a little survivally kind of. You have to sort of like an ocean in an oasis in the middle of like a deserty, like dead sort of area, and you have to sort of rekindle the forest back to its full health. Only got to play that for a little bit. That was quite good. It was interesting. Struck me as definitely as a sort of Game Passy game or one of those humble games, kind of that sort of thing. There was another one. That was like a 16-bit side-scrolling stealth game. That was quite good.
Okay.
If I remember it, I'll put it in the chat or I'll mention it before we finish. I'll look it up in a bit, but I might have the picture of it actually somewhere on my phone, so I'll have a look. That was quite good though. Enjoyed that. What else to see? I saw some Goat Simulator 3. That's just mental. I'll be buying that just purely for the laughs.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else is. There was a lot of. I tell you what, it was Sega fan. There was a retro zone and an arcade zone in there, and they had almost every retro console on display. Like you could literally just pick it up, and use it, just out and about. Hundreds of all different ones, from the Virtual Boy to bloody like the Master Systems and just everything, just loads of them. Every single one you can think of. Obviously 360s, PS1, 2, 3. There was just everything. Everything was there, and they all had just like a demo, a game on each. You couldn't change the game; it was just one game, and you could go and have a go on it. And me and Paddy played on the Atari 2600 and played Dogfight. And I believe the score was 14-6 or something like that, Paddy, before I got time to, if you're watching, before you got time to take, I was about to take a photo and he pressed the reset button before I could take a photo and he was like, did that. I was like, yeah, whatever.
You know, I'm surprised they didn't have Dead Island 2 there, considering that's out February, right?
Yeah, I'm surprised there wasn't a few more, actually, that are due out. It's not a very... I don't want to say it's not a very big show. There was a large portion of it was literally down to a like recruiting section. Like there was a lot of devs, like the people who make not Hitman, Sniper Elite. Is it Rebellion?
Yes.
They were there.
Nice.
No game. Just there was devs and a load of other people. They were just trying to recruit.
Oh.
That's all they were doing. That Flex Interactive, the people that used to make the arena for Sea of Thieves,
Yeah.
they now do other stuff. They also did stuff on Crackdown and a few other games. They were there again, recruiting. There was a lot of universities and colleges and stuff from the local area that were also trying to recruit kids into, get them into jobs into, game development.
Yeah.
So there was a large portion in the corner, a good sort of 2/8 of the it's a big thing, so it doesn't sound much, but it's a big area that was just down to recruiting. And then there was obviously we got to see Sightless Combat. He did a talk about accessibility. So
that's awesome.
that was good to see him again. And was a lot of other things. Got to see Outside Xbox. Those guys were there. They did one of their Xbox adventure things, the D&D game.
Yeah.
That was good. That was a good laugh. We went to see that. But games wise, there was a lot of stuff that you've already got now.
Yeah.
There was a queue. There was a queue a mile long for the Call of Duty thing.
Yeah.
But it wasn't even open until the demo went live at home. So we and Paddy looked at it and was like, what's the point?
Oh
we might
my
as well go
God.
back to the hotel and download it on the laptop and play it there.
Yeah.
Queuing for 2 hours just to get on it for 10 minutes. Stuff that. So yeah, that was ridiculous. But there's not enough. There wasn't enough.
They keep you
new
occupied all the
stuff
time.
for my liking. Yeah,
Okay.
the show itself, if it's on, I think it changes between London and Birmingham, the EGX show,
Right.
and should theoretically, unless they have problems and they just do it again in London, but theoretically be in Birmingham next year. If it is, and Rare are there, I'm just going down for the 1 day
Yeah.
and then I'll come back. I don't need to spend the whole day there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing there.
Yeah, we just kind of
big
figure
one,
out
though.
which, because I'll probably go next year if it's just for the 1 day, and figure out which days got the most people going to it.
It's usually the Saturday
Yeah.
because that's the day. A lot of the devs who
And
did
most
the
people are
talk for
off work.
GoldenEye. But so Rare were there for the GoldenEye talk, so we got to hear about some of the stories about that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got to see the Rare devs talk about Sea of Thieves after that.
Yeah.
And it's usually a Saturday. The reason for that is usually that's the day most people are off work, so that's the day most people can make it, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think for me, I might pop down for that one if there's Rare on again next year. But it's Gamescom, I think, this next year.
That's fair. That's fair.
I think we're going to save up and do that.
Awesome. Anything else you can think of? I mean, what came of the Sea of Thieves / Raid discussion? Did they mention anything about any new updates or
For
Sea of Thieves or anything during the kind of panel?
yeah, we got a bit of news about certain things that trying to think now. A little bit of news about season 8. Nothing really. If you're an insider, you already know. But I think officially, I'm not sure if they've mentioned it before, but it's definitely orientated more towards the PvP side of things.
Yeah.
So people who are doing the arena that no longer can are definitely going to be happy with that when that comes. We got a few interesting. I have many long conversations with Mike Chapman about some of the stuff that should come to the game, i.e. Monkey Islands.
Yeah. Anything?
Nothing. Well, so when we were told that if they make anything that is Pirates of the Caribbean based, it has to be checked off by Disney,
Yeah.
the team from Pirates of the Caribbean, and directly to Jerry Bruckheimer. Has to go to all three.
Right.
And it has to get verification and cleared by all three. Otherwise, it doesn't happen. So
Yeah.
when they were making the Pirates Life thing, even though Disney were all in, they still had to, and obviously Pirates of the Caribbean were in on that as well. They still had to get Jerry Bruckheimer to say yes. And luckily, he was like, yes. However, he's notoriously bad, apparently, for answering his emails. So when it came to making what my question was, why did we not get Jack, the undead monkey? Like, he was the perfect animal to stick into the Emporium.
Yeah.
And instead we got Barbossa's dog.
Yeah.
Like, why? He hasn't got a dog. What are you on about? You know? So that's because that was new. They made that themselves. They didn't need any clarification because there was no dog to go, you know, it wasn't in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Apart from his name, which Disney owned. So that was like, yes. Monkey Islands, on the other hand, Monkey Islands, when they went to the LucasArts team and said, we want to put an Easter egg of Monkey Islands in our game,
Yeah.
the official response back was, what? You want to do what? Yeah, do it now. That was the instant response.
Awesome.
Because it's already a game.
Yeah.
It can be easily translated into a game because it's the same thing. So the response was, yeah. There's no good reason why not. There wasn't a confirmation.
Yeah.
But then he did a lot of asking me and about 4 other people that were there. If he did get a Monkey Island though, in Sea of Thieves, what bit of Monkey Island would you want?
Yeah.
Because we all like different bits. I know you're a big fan of Curse of Monkey Island.
Yeah.
And I am as well. It's one of my favorites. But my all-time favorite was always Monkey Island 2. So there's stuff in that one that I'd like to see. But then I'd love to see, if it didn't have Murray the Demonic Skull, I'd have something to say about it. So it sounded like he was crowdsourcing what we all thought were the most important things from Monkey Islands.
Right.
And getting some idea of what people want. So we all gave our opinions, but I think if we do get it, it's a way off yet.
Right. Okay.
So,
at least there's hope.
There's hope. There's definitely hope. That's it at the moment.
Awesome stuff. Brilliant. Awesome. Well, it's good to hear. Good to hear from EGX. Like I say, I'm kind of still fingers crossed at some point in the future we'll get another XO. So we can kind of go to that again, but
definitely.
But yeah, I'll try and get the EGX next year. I think we're all going to plan to try and get the Gamescom next year if we can, at least Gamescom, if we don't manage E3. But yeah, definitely Gamescom for the full bunch. So it'll be midweek mix-up representing.
I think E3. I think we need to just see how it goes this year. Next year, I mean, before we make plans for it, because if it does come back and it's a bit. It's a bit like EGX now.
Yeah.
You know, it's a bit like all the fun stuff happened on the press days.
Yeah.
And that's it. Then it's just going to be no point in going all the way out there and doing it, is there?
Yeah, that makes sense.
See how it goes with that one. I would definitely. It's the dream. It's always been the dream, hasn't it, to go to E3?
Yeah.
But obviously, it's had a rough time over the last few years for obvious reasons. So
yeah.
I don't want to spend that kind of money and get there and go, shit, I wish I hadn't bothered.
Yeah. Yeah. No, makes absolute sense. We're going to dive.
The thing is about E3 would be probably it's about meeting the people.
Yes.
You know, that Boom is gonna be there, Cold, Gas,
everybody.
Rand is gonna be there. It would be the chance to actually meet those people in person, and I think like that is what I would go for.
Absolutely.
Like the press conference, of course, it's the dream to see like the Xbox conference in person, actually sitting in the room, but it wouldn't be worth the money. But meeting the people, and not just the creators, a lot of people from the community will also go there, and I think like that's what is it. But if we are honest, the costs of that, it
would be something you'd have to split between each other, and that's the only way you could do it. Is everyone get the flight? The flights aren't bad, but we would have to be like an Airbnb and then split that Airbnb between the group, and then all just share one location. Rent a car and then split the cost of the rental car between each other, or rental van, whatever it is. That's probably the only way to do it is to
be a fucking road trip.
Exactly. I was about to say that. Let's all fly together over there, and then let's have an amazing road trip. And
midweek mix up.
But then we have to drive like 3 days early because we are
midweek tour.
That would be awesome, man. We arrived there completely wasted.
Even if E3 was crap, that would still make the best E3 ever.
Midweek on tour. Let's get it.
If you made it, if you made it to E3, then
yeah.
If we made it, yeah.
That'd be awesome. But definitely, at least definitely we'll be sorting out Gamescom for next year. I think we'll all try and get to that.
Yes, absolutely.
It's only one country away for the vast majority.
I bring the best beer of Germany with me, and then we're gonna have a blast, guys.
Boom.
Well, I think me and Paddy are almost certain.
Sweet.
So.
Yeah, we'll all do.
Fingers crossed with me at the moment, and I need to see where I am.
Yeah, we'll try and get you across some way, shape, or form. It's Germany after all. It's not like
Yeah.
thousands of pounds. It's a little hop
So the
across
thing
the
is, my
channel.
dad wants to go Germany next year, and if it aligns at that right time,
Yeah,
probably should be able to go Gamescom.
boosh. Let's get it.
I mean, we could do the Airbnb here too,
Yes,
right?
exactly, exactly. Just rent a castle or something will be good.
Exactly. Exactly.
Awesome. But yeah,
Awesome stuff, man.
most
We got a
definitely.
castle with like a crest on it. We could put like the
Just the
midweek
shield,
mix-up
yeah.
badge over the top
Just
of
yeah. The midweek shield on the outside. Done.
Just get the flag, midweek mix-up flag, and raise it.
it. Yeah.
We'll put it at half-mast if anyone's too hungover the next day.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh dear God.
Oh, man, that's funny.
Yes, so we're going to jump into one of the first topics, and that is the awesome resurgence of Cyberpunk 2077. Of course, myself and Boxy have been huge proponents of how good this game actually is, and encouraging people to try it out and play it.
Yeah.
Like I say, Pat has got to that
Absolutely.
stage now where he's almost near the tail end of it. He's literally going to finish the last mission tonight, hopefully. I think he'll let us know what decision he
Yeah.
chose as his first
Are
final
you going to stream
decision.
it, Pat?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe I go live for that one.
Yeah, I'll be interested in seeing what you think of the ending.
Yeah, what
Okay.
ending he chooses as well. It is like, do you not? Do you not? It depends. Which way do you go? But
Okay.
the awesome news, of course, is that it's had a big resurgence for a number of factors. So, of course, it had a huge patch the other week with 1.6. Alongside 1.6, they also released the Netflix anime Cyberpunk Edgerunners, which did some big numbers. And as a byproduct of the popularity of Edgerunners and the DLC Edgerunners that also fell for the game at the same time, which had new missions, new side quests, new weapons, and cosmetics for the game. It also increased its popularity tenfold. It is now, at the moment, at over 135,000 active players and growing by the day on Steam.
Yeah.
They had almost 1 million players, if not more than 1 million players per day since Edgerunners and 1.6 dropped, which is insane. So it is massively jumped in its popularity again now. It has had a huge resurgence, and of course that is before we get the huge DLC, of course, next year, which obviously we're all looking forward to. But Boxy, I want to take this one to you because I know, of course, you're a little bit limited to time tonight, so I want to get into a couple of discussions before you go. But yeah, we've been ranting and raving about just how good Cyberpunk is and the world and the story and things for a while now. And of course, I know it doesn't quite match up to The Witcher for you as yet, but I know it's not far off. How much do you think this has really helped the game then, and how happy are you to see kind of the resurgence of Cyberpunk?
No, I'm glad that the game is finally actually getting the player base it deserves.
Yeah.
Like you said, we both played it when it came out. For some reason, we didn't have like these game-breaking bugs. Obviously, the game had its issues, but honestly, these days, which game comes out and doesn't have them? So
Yeah.
but we both played on the Series X. I think like the main problems were, of course, on the old consoles.
Yeah.
That was the one thing. The other thing that the hardcore community was really complaining about, and I mean it's a fair criticism, is that a lot of the mechanics that they promised weren't in the game. Like the AI from the cops, for instance, from the police. But that didn't take away from the game itself. What I appreciate about Cyberpunk is that it allows you to actually play that game in like, I want to say 30 hours or so, if you choose to.
Yeah.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be like this 100-hour plus game, which, for instance, The Witcher is, and everyone knows how much I love The Witcher. Nothing to take away from it, but it is fantastic that when you have the feeling like, okay, I don't want to grind through the side missions or do this and that. I just want to enjoy the story.
Yeah.
You will be able to finish that game at around 30 hours. Also, and that's really cool. So yeah, it is great to see, and honestly, I didn't expect it, because the big thing actually dropped back in, I want to say, March or something. And that was the next gen patch. Everyone was like, "Oh, I'm gonna wait with Cyberpunk for the next gen patch," and then the next gen patch dropped in the middle of the only busy month of the year. Like literally, there was nothing coming out in between March and October now, and they dropped the next gen Cyberpunk patch in between Elden Ring, Horizon Forbidden West, and Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, and all these games
Yeah.
that came out at that time. And now it more or less just got an update, and the Netflix series. So there was no content drop. There was nothing like major, and still the game picks up. It had its highest peak of concurrent players on Steam last week. And it even succeeded the highest concurrent player count from The Witcher.
Oof.
Which is actually quite insane. Yeah. It's amazing. They reported that they have more than 1 million players daily.
That's insane.
Wow,
That's insane
that's
for a
crazy.
2-year-old game. Yeah.
And this
I'm
isn't
really
just the first time that it's happened. Now it's the second time that this has happened with the Witcher series. That also made people go out and play Witcher again, and then had a massive boost. And
For good
now with the
reason, yeah.
Cyberpunk Edge Runners series, that's again done the same thing. It's insane. I think warning has to be, though, is not everybody's going to have the same success. So don't think an anime or a series on Netflix is going to majorly boost your game, because it's not the same.
It isn't. It really isn't. So yeah, man, I'm glad that the game actually got a chance, because I was like, how stupid was it to drop the next gen patch, which was like, could have been like this basically second release, like if you promoted that properly, and then they just stealth dropped it in the middle of nowhere, and but now for I don't know whether it's the series itself, or whether it's I don't know, the viral effect. Don't underestimate that. Like a bunch of people start playing it and talk about it on social media channels, and suddenly the game gets, oh yeah, right, there's nothing else coming out right now, so hey, why not pick up Cyberpunk? It's a perfect time. Like low on actual new game releases. Hey, and this viral effect, is really important. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's a mixture of everything. I don't know. But I'm glad Cyberpunk got this second wind, and yeah, man. If anyone still hasn't played the game out there, highly recommend it. It's in every sale. You can get it crazy cheap now.
Yeah.
And it really runs good, and it doesn't matter basically where you play it. I wouldn't recommend to play it on the last gen consoles, but on current gen consoles, even on PlayStation, they fixed like the little things that they were lacking behind. Like they had less populated Night City, and stuff like that. The game is really good there. On PC, it's still beautiful. Yeah,
and speaking of PC as well, of course, it is. They're not even just stopping at making it run beautifully on PC. They've already got support for 40 series NVIDIA cards with the LSS 3.
And DLSS 3.
Which doubles the performance again. So you're seeing with ray tracing, it can go up to like 120, 130 frames, which is just insane.
It's amazing.
So they're not stopping.
So
go on.
They're not stopping, like you said. and it really doesn't matter where you play it, except the old consoles. It's a fantastic game.
Yeah, yeah. And
Right.
like we
Man,
mentioned as well.
I gotta drop out.
Yes.
Just want to say a big shout out to this amazing community here in chat. So many awesome people. I love the conversations here. Keep it on, guys. Have a great rest of the podcast, and I'll see you guys next week again, or
shall
tomorrow
indeed.
on the World of Gaming.
Yes.
Take it easy,
Yeah,
box.
Boxy.
All
Take it
right.
easy, Boxy.
Have a good one.
Have a good one.
See you, man.
See you later, man.
Boosh. Brill, awesome stuff. Yeah, we'll get straight to Pat, because Pat, you've been playing Cyberpunk as well. What are you made?
Yes. It's awesome. As you know, like you just said, I'm on the end.
Yes.
Just checked. I'm 30 hours in. Exactly
Ooh.
30 hours in. So, but yeah, it's so great. It's such a when you start it, you need to get like into the story and stuff.
Yeah.
But the further you go into the game, the more you get sucked in, and you get stuck in this whole story and the side missions and stuff, and just looking around in the areas. And yeah, it's amazing. And it's really good to hear that this game just got the boost that they needed,
Yeah.
especially before they dropped the DLC. So I don't know what's gonna happen when the DLC comes out.
Yeah.
Probably the numbers will like double,
Yeah.
maybe, and I think that's what they deserve. So of course it was a rough start for them.
Yeah. Very.
It's good that I didn't play back then.
Yeah.
I think I just picked it up at the right time. But yeah, like Boxy also said, I highly recommend for people to just play it to see how it is. And but it's amazing. It looks good. It plays really good. The combat is freaking nice.
Yes.
Yeah, the two of the blades that you have in your arms
Yeah.
and stuff. It's crazy. Yeah, it's such a good game. Such a good game. Looking forward to the end.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing
yeah.
which decision you pick, which way you go. I can't even say what the decisions are because that would ruin the end. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing what you choose and how that goes. It's certainly very interesting because again, I've done both of them now because as I mentioned, when you finish the game, it puts you back into the same place, which is just outside the elevator.
Yeah.
So then it's like when I went back in again, I was like, wait, there's an easy achievement here to just do the other ending. So I just went and did the other ending. I was like, we'll just do that again. Just do the final boss. We'll do the ending, and I'll choose the other option this time to see what that's about. And it's great because, of course, you get a full like a proper story ending to the end, and it is completely different to the first choice that you have.
Okay.
So it depends on how you want to do it, but yeah, it's phenomenal. And every faction has 2 endings, and I'm sure that other than that, there is also 2 secret endings to the game. So I think all in all, there's like 8 endings to it.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, there's a lot of choice, and of course you've got loads of
Yeah.
different side quests to do. And if you have a look online, there's a few of them where it's like most recommended side quests to do in the game that you don't want to miss.
Okay.
One of them, of course, is the one that I mentioned, and that's the one where the guy, he's a murderer. He's like murdered someone, and he wants to redeem himself by crucifying himself on TV. And you
Oh yeah.
Did you
that's
do
one
that
you
one?
mentioned, yeah. No, not yet. Not
you
yet.
need to do that side quest. It is wild. But everyone
Okay.
remembers it as well because basically you've either got to. It's up to you whether or not you just let him get on with crucifying himself on TV or you convince him to not do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's a weird, but it doesn't feel like it's forced. Like the story doesn't feel like it's completely separate from everything else. It feels like you're part of it. It's so strange. It's such a mad story, but it's so good.
Yeah. I do also like the side missions. Of course, it's like basically all about the main mission that you're doing, like the
Yeah.
main story. But once you start like a side quest, maybe they are not that long,
Yeah.
but they are so good. Speaking to people, and you need to like spy on their girlfriend to see if they have another man, and all of a sudden it's not true. They're doing something else, and yeah, it's crazy. It's a really good game. So yeah. If you haven't played it, guys, just buy it, man. You can, like Boxy also said, you can get it for cheap, and you should play it and just see it for yourself.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Yeah.
100%, 100%. Quick shout out to Mr. Joanna Dog. I'm going to get to the question in the super chat soon, but thank you for the $5 super chat. Once we finish this topic, I'm going to ask those questions because, yes, I think we've both seen the Grey game. We've both commented on it in the private chat. I'm not sure about Girl That Drinks Tears though, so I'm going to have a look at that and see what that's about. But we'll have a quick conversation about that in a moment. But General C, brother, you've also played and beat Cyberpunk. What are your thoughts on this huge resurgence that they've went through? In no uncertain circumstances, it's probably down to Edgerunners being such a huge success on Netflix.
Yeah. It's a shame the game didn't have this kind of reaction when it came out.
Yeah.
But it's great to see it now. As someone who played it at launch, I had very minimal issues. The worst I had was someone T-posing like this.
Yeah.
And then just really minor issues, a few texture glitches, nothing that broke the game for me. But yeah, it's good to see, and it's only going to pick up more steam when the DLC comes out, Phantom Liberty. People are going to be hyped for that. But yeah, it's good to see. You got to love it and appreciate it because they're one of the greatest studios out there. They've made some great games with the Witcher series. It's a shame they took a stumble with Cyberpunk in the first place.
It is?
But
you know where it is? It's Witcher was such a huge success. Cyberpunk really had it lined up for them to be that again, based on the capabilities that they showed with The Witcher 3. I think the issue they had, and I think they've learned from that lesson now, is that the shareholders got involved in Cyberpunk when they shouldn't have. We've seen what happens when the shareholders have took a step back and just how good Cyberpunk is now. If they just didn't get involved in the first place and they listened to the developers like they did in The Witcher, it would never have been an issue because the game would have released when it should have done, and it would have released with everything we expected.
And it's got a great story as well, and even the side missions, they all add to the top of the story.
Yeah,
they put the cherry on the top. There's some crazy side stories in there with cybernetic enhanced psychos that have gone crazy with the technology they're using, like the illegal technology they're using in their bodies, and it sends them insane. And those are some crazy combat sequences there with some cyber psychos. And then you've got the not so good it's just like one side mission, the Delamain ones that Delaware ones.
Apparently, some of them Delamain ones actually get quite good, but some of them are pretty terrible. I've only
some of those early ones I didn't go much on them, so I didn't really push forward with that storyline because it didn't really appeal to me. It's the only one I had real issues with story-wise.
The street brawl and the cyber psycho stuff gets pretty intense, mind. Like, the cyber psychos can be absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, and then you've got the one with that crazy talking gun that you can get, and that's just insane. But yeah, it's like there's a lot of good stuff in Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
There's a lot of little hidden gem moments that you wouldn't find if you didn't put the time in to walk around and discover these things.
There's so many hidden gems, so many like little Easter eggs and things hiding around that people haven't seen. That if you just go exploring, you can find them, and if you have a look online for some of the hidden Easter eggs, you can go to certain locations on the map, and they've got little hidden bits there, and it's like you say, it's phenomenal. The story's just insane. The character details are insane. The vast majority of characters that you walk past as well have all got different kind of cybernetics and things built into themselves, and they've all got different modifications and yeah.
And like, the best thing about it is it's got Keanu Reeves in it, one of the most humble people ever. How could you not like him?
Yeah,
you need to play it because of he's in it.
And you know what it is though? I absolutely loved the little connection between the V and Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, the back and forth at the start when you first meet Johnny Silverhand, who's in your head.
Yeah.
Obviously, no one else can see him. how much like they hate each other at first, and then by the end of the story, they end up growing to care about each other.
Yeah. And of
You see that
course,
thing in the news
go on.
a couple of weeks back about Keanu Reeves? He was in the UK and he just walked into some pub, went to have a drink on his own. No, like security and that.
Yeah, he does that all the time.
There's something I saw.
And then the whole pub's just having photos with him and just and buying him drinks, and he was just like,
yeah, there's
problem.
something similar I saw a few weeks back. It was like, he must have been in some sort of hotel or location nearby a wedding.
Yeah.
And the bride and groom invited him to the wedding, and he came. Like,
Yeah, he
can you
just happened
imagine
to be
that
in the,
story? Telling that
happened to be in
story
the
to your
hotel.
kids in the
Yeah,
future.
just happened to be in the hotel. And he was like, "Oh yeah, I'll come."
Yeah, we got Keanu Reeves to come to our wedding. That's
Not only that,
that's like a
but
banger of a story.
I was saying, not
Yeah.
only that, but the bloke actually put a suit jacket on
Mm.
and everything, and he dressed up relatively smart.
Yeah,
Like he went out of his way to dress up
crazy.
smart for the wedding as well. I was like, bless him.
didn't just turn up like Johnny Silverhand, fag in his mouth and like banty.
And there's many of them stories, though. I think he's probably one of the most humble actors out there that actually cares about people. He
Yeah.
doesn't let his career go to his head.
Well, it's all
he's
of
a
the
caring
things, like-
person, a genuine person.
I was gonna say,
he
like-
gets the bus around LA and stuff, doesn't he? And
Well, it's not just
Yeah.
that. Like I've heard specifically from his earlier movies, and I think he still does it now. It's like if he feels like the people are being underpaid for the work that they're doing, and he says people like the animators and the stunt actors, and he said they don't get paid enough. So, and I'm getting paid millions to do this, so I share my earnings with them because I think they deserve to get paid more. And he's done that countless times. He pays people out of his own pocket because he thinks they deserve more. Such an awesome bloke. And there's very few of them
Legend.
like that these days. Very few of them like that. That
He's got a bit of a
Willingly do
tragic
it.
background as well. I think he lost a family member to suicide or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's. I mean,
He's had a bit of a tragic background, so
all
it's
in
no
all,
wonder he's humble.
yeah. All in all, like I say, the characters between V and Johnny Silverhand, such a great story, and of course, it comes to the culmination of that story at the very end, which of course Pat needs to get up to, where you have to make a very tough decision. And because you like both characters, and no doubt Pat, you like both V and Johnny Silverhand now, you don't know what that final decision. Even I was like, what do I actually want to happen here? Like, do I want or do I not want? And then you have to make that decision. There is no ifs or buts. You have to make the decision. It's one way or the other. There is no getting out of it. You're like, damn. But it's so worth it. So worth it.
I cannot wait, man.
Yeah.
I just
I
wanted
need
to
go
check
back.
it
Great
out.
game.
I need to go
it
back
was
and
my
watch
game
it.
of the year that
Yeah.
year.
Oh yeah,
And I'm sure it would have been a lot of other people's game of the year if it didn't give people problems. But like you and Boxenberger, I came out unscathed. I didn't really have many major issues. Most of mine were just small, spur of the moment things that you could solve with just a simple reload.
Yeah. One of the two bugs I had was like cars glitching slightly into the floor. Again, you get that stuff on GTA, so it wasn't really something I was bothered about. And then another one was do you know, everyone who's played it, when you see Johnny Silverhand and you get those like brain malfunctions for a bit afterwards where the screen kind of shakes and goes glittery for a bit?
Mm-hmm.
Mine would stick in that until I reloaded the game. So I would just have like for a bit, and I could walk around and do everything, but I'd still get that stutter thing going on until I just pause, save, reload the save, and then it was gone. That was it. That was a really easy bug to get rid of. I was like, oh, there it goes again, reload, and then it would reload us back into that section. I'd be fine, and I could go on for another few hours until Johnny appears again. Like, yeah.
When I first played that game, I had a really weird bug that when you go inside one of the first missions, where you go inside this dancers, club place,
Yeah.
and there was a weird thing where I thought the game was just in a cutscene, and it actually disconnected from the character and was back outside by the car, and I was just sat there for a minute watching it, thinking, "Oh, has it gone to a cutscene? He's going to come walking out in a minute." And then I realised nothing was happening. And then I realized I could move the thumbstick, and on the little mini HUD on the screen in the bottom corner, I could see my character moving on the so I tried to blindly follow the line, see if I could get him to come back out by making him walk around the mini map
Yeah.
through the area and back out and up the stairs and round. And I just, after about 10 minutes, was like, this ain't happening. It was a good laugh for a minute, but I'm fed up now. I just want to get back into the game. But once, like you say, similar sort of thing, just reloaded the save and it was back where it was.
Yeah.
So,
No.
Very minimal things, but I highly recommend. Muppets just put in chat as well. I've never played Cyberpunk or The Witcher, and yes, I am sorry. Don't hate me. I don't hate you at all, to be honest. The problem with both The Witcher and Cyberpunk is that they're big games. Thankfully, Cyberpunk is nowhere near the size of Witcher, which is like 200 to 300 hours if you do everything. It's phenomenally long, like impossibly long in some. Like as soon as you start that game, you realize just how big it is.
yeah.
So I understand people who have just went, like, I love what I played, but I haven't got the time for it, which is fair, because it's a big game. But Cyberpunk, as Pat mentioned, he's at the final mission now, and he's just over 30 hours. So it's not super long. You can do loads of side missions like I have. I've got something like 70-odd hours in that game, because I've just walked off and done side missions and done street fights and cyber psychos and things like that. But you can just dart straight down the middle, just focus on the main story, and do it in like 30-odd hours. I would recommend doing a few of the side missions, because there are some that I mentioned to Pat there. There are some that you don't want to miss, and you do actually want to get in there and play the side quests.
The GLaDOS one.
Yeah.
Ah, the GLaDOS one's brilliant. I found in that, and I was like, wait a minute, that's GLaDOS!
Yeah.
That was brilliant. I love that bit.
Yeah. There's so
Big
much.
fan.
And seeing Kojima in the game was pretty funny as well.
Yes.
Ooh,
That was cool. That's a cool
I've
moment.
not seen that bit.
Well,
It's in the
Kojima in that game?
Yeah, Kojima's in.
yeah, it's like very early in the game.
I knew
you know,
it was
when you
in
go,
there. Yeah.
You know when you go to the hotel where you do like the main sort of first mission, the mission before you get Johnny Silverhand in your head.
Yeah.
There's a bar at the bottom of the hotel. You can enter the bar, and he's in that bar, surrounded by a few other people. It's pretty cool.
Was it Jeff Keighley?
I've missed it.
Was
I
Jeff
don't
Keighley,
think
was
Jeff
Jeff
Keighley's
Keighley right
there.
behind him?
Yeah.
He's probably somewhere. He's Jeff Stranding.
No, but I would,
Wherever
Right.
Kojima is, Jeff surely
Jeff's
there somewhere.
He's the boss staff. Yeah. But no, I highly recommend anybody.
Groveling on the floor.
You know,
He's
I
under
think
the table massaging Kojima's feet.
it depends on if people like the anime, because I don't know whether or not. I don't think Jen, you've watched maybe a couple episodes of the anime now. Pat, I know hasn't.
I couldn't get on with the anime. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm not one for anime.
That's fair.
I don't really get on well with.
I'm not
anime.
usually
It's
like I
very
like
few
Dragon
animes
Ball,
written
because
in.
I grew up on Dragon Ball Z and I loved Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, and I loved that growing up, but I always find it hard now that I'm,
go back
I'm
to it.
older to go back into it. And
Yeah.
even with Dragon Ball, I tried watching the most recent. I think it's Dragon Ball Super, and I couldn't get into that.
Yeah.
I just think it's anime. It's something about it that I can't get my head around. I don't enjoy it that much. I tried watching Demon Slayer recently, and the first 2 episodes of that were really good. I didn't meld well with it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. You see, the thing I liked about Edge Runners was obviously the first couple episodes are a bit strange, but the further it gets, it feels more like what I remember from the game as well, because it's all about you getting missions and going to take out contracts and completing the contracts, or at least the main characters, and doing this as a squad. And then he's getting kind of upgrades to himself, and he's getting the mantis arms, and he's getting like cybernetic bodies and super speed and things like that. So he's gradually getting more powerful as things go on. And it's just that story reminded me so much of the game that it's really like made me download the game again and go, right, I'm gonna play through again, because I loved it, and the audio and the combat in the anime was just brutal. Like people getting the faces blown off and chopped into segments and left, right, and center. It was such a great anime from start to finish for me, anyway. Like you say, though, if If you haven't watched animes before, you might not like it.
Sour Blow on the chat says some of the side missions actually feel like main missions.
Oh, 100%.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They do. There's only that
That's
one
what I also said.
Delaware or Delamain missions that really feels like it's filler.
Yeah.
The rest of the side missions are pretty good. They stand alone, and some of them actually expand the main story.
Yeah. Yeah. Phenomenal stuff. But even Soulblow again said a little bit further down there as well. He said he beat Cyberpunk in under 40 hours with some side missions. Witcher 3, he's got 50 hours in and he's nowhere near.
Yeah, I need to go back and do the Witcher, the DLC. But the trouble is I played and completed the game before it got the update that changed all the menus
Yeah.
and made it apparently easier. The trouble is I remembered how it was the old way.
Yeah.
And when it went back in and they changed it all, it was like a different game. So I didn't know what anything did anymore.
Mm.
So I just can't be bothered anymore. I've tried several times.
Yeah.
And I might try again if they ever get round to doing the next gen patch. But
Coming out this year, I think, according to
It
them.
is, yeah. According to CDPR, they were on track to release that this year, so
They were, or they are.
still are, yeah.
They are,
It's
yeah.
still scheduled to release this year. They're confident it is going to hit as well.
Fingers crossed.
I think because they've got their biggest and most, should we say, resolving patch out now for Cyberpunk on 1.6, along with Edge Runners to keep it going until the big DLC drops next year. I think now they can say, right, okay, we've got the vast majority of the stuff we need to do on the main Cyberpunk game done. That is done. Now we've got the DLC, which is next year. That's fine. We can focus back onto Witcher, get that patch finished now. Let's get that out because people love it. Of course, that's going to be alongside that next gen patch for Witcher. You also get the Netflix DLC that comes along with it, which includes the armor and things like that from the Witcher TV series, and a few more little side quests that go along with the Witcher TV series. So, I think that's going to be the next push for the remainder of this year from CDPR, and then of course next year. Of course, releasing in the first 3 months of the year, I think it was. You've got the big and only DLC for Cyberpunk, which I am super hyped about now because I need.
I'm wondering if they're reconsidering that.
What do you mean?
The DLC being the only one because of how popular it's become over the last few weeks.
I don't
and
think
how popular
so.
it's probably going to get with the DLC.
I think the reason the DLC might be the only one might be due to its size. It looks like it's and it is because of course it's an entirely new story. It's got nothing to do with the original story.
Big.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be much bigger. And we've seen what happened with the likes of Blood and Wine, the DLC for Witcher, which was like the best part of 30 hours by itself. And if you're basing like Blood and Wine,
because I haven't.
It's insane.
It's one of the things I keep wanting to go back and do, and I just can't do it.
If you base the length of that on CDPR's work, and you think, okay, is this big new DLC for Cyberpunk going to be another 20, 30 hour DLC? I think that's a huge amount of content released for that. And that's not including the fact that the game itself already has the best part of like 70 hours worth of content, 100 hours if you'd max out everything. So it's talking.
So
maybe...
will we see some smaller stuff like weapons and such?
Oh
then?
yeah, well yeah, like I say with the current patch with 1.6, you also had the Edge Runners DLC, which added some new missions, some new quests, some cosmetics,
new guns,
weapons, guns. So yeah, there's a few more bits in there, and for the next DLC, because the original rumors was Keanu Reeves wasn't returning. He has confirmed he is returning for the DLC. So yes, he is. Keanu Reeves does return for the DLC. Good news.
That's good.
Yeah.
I just hope there's some Judge Dredd Easter eggs in there.
I want some Blade Runner Easter eggs.
Right?
I want some Blade Runner Easter eggs. That's what I'd love.
Yeah, with the new patch, what they released like now right now.
Yeah.
You got 6 new firearms. You got 5 new melee weapons. Edge Runners content, of course. You got some arcade game, Roach Race.
Yeah.
And they've like updated a lot of the increases on camera rotation and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think that's one of the added more secrets in Night City to be discovered by players. So more content, more game time, of course. So yeah.
No, it's absolutely
So
awesome.
far, so.
It's like I say, the amount of content they released just for that is phenomenal. And again, I'm just so glad it's ironed out a lot of the issues people were having, so they can enjoy the game. That's the main thing. But I highly recommend everybody who hasn't played it, go in and play it. Personally, I recommend playing as Nomad for life. It is the
Street
best
Kid for
one, I
life.
think. Are you Street Kid or are you Nomad?
Yeah, that's the one I did.
You were Street Kid.
Street Kid.
Nomad. I tried to do Corpo and it was like the
I did
beginning
that
of the
the same as
story's
well
not.
at first.
Nomad is just phenomenal.
I was like, no, not feeling this Corpo.
Yeah,
Well, maybe
same.
Corpo, maybe a little bit more police sort of related, Judge Dreddy like. Didn't like it.
Yep.
Street Kid.
Yeah, I went straight to Nomad, biker gang-esque, and that's phenomenal. So personally, I'll recommend Nomad. I don't think anybody's recommended Corpo yet, but apparently Corpo's got some really cool endings to the game. See, Mr. Joanna Dark's Corpo. Boo!
Street Kid. I recommend Street Kid.
I think I choose Street Kid as
You're
well.
Street Kid.
Hmm.
Okay. Fanto
Yeah.
says Nomad as well. So we've got 2 Street Kids, 2 Nomads, and
What about
and
you, Mick?
one
What did you
Corpo.
pick for your first main playthrough? You're muted.
No. Street Kid.
Yep. Damn it.
Street Kid wins.
Street Kid wins so far. Oh dear me. Oh yeah, another Nomad in the chat. Go on there, sir.
Ah.
Stuff, John. That's 3-1. Mr. Joanna Dark sitting out there lonely with his number 1 there. Stop hitting on my fancy life.
You should put a poll up. Can you put a poll up with 3 choices?
I might be
Let
able
people
to
vote
on
in the chat.
Yeah, might be able to somewhere. The thing is, you can't do a lot of stuff on your phone, which is ridiculous. You should be able to, but you can't. I'll try and do it in a second. Let's do this quickly. Whoop, there we go. Yes, but let's get quickly to the super chat question from Mr. Joanna Dog anyway, because we haven't answered that yet, and then we'll go into the next topic. He says, hello, gents. And of course, thank you again for the $5 super chat. Hello, gents. Did you get a chance to watch the trailer for The Girl That Drinks Tears? Thoughts on what this game could be? And what about Grey? We all, I think, seen the trailer for Grey in our chats and things like that, but I haven't seen Girl That Drinks Tears. Chaps, what about yourselves?
Before you're gonna search that, I probably think that is maybe it's an automatic thing, because it's the bird that drinks tears.
Oh.
And probably he's got the correction on. I don't know, but it isn't the girl; it's the bird.
Oh.
And I just watched it. It's like a few minute art trailer thing. But man, this game looks crazy.
I haven't seen either of them, so
yeah, it's a small part what you see, but it looks insane. It's I have no idea what it can be, Joanna, but yeah, I'm curious. I'm eager for more of those things, of maybe some clips or trailers. I don't know.
Yeah. What about yourselves, chaps? Did you see The Girl That Drinks Tears?
Nope.
Okay. We'll have to.
I don't even recall what was the other thing.
The Grey.
I don't even recall if I've seen that. I don't think I have.
Right. I've definitely seen it because it was put in. I think it was put in our chat. Was it? I don't know
in
whether
private
was
chat,
it
yeah.
Pat that put it in, or was it somebody else, or Boxy maybe?
No. Someone put it in. I don't know who.
Yeah,
Shom.
don't know
I
who.
think Shyamalan.
Shom. Yes, Shom.
Yeah.
Shout out to Shom. Obviously, he's working hard, which is why he hasn't been on here very much recently. He's just been at work a lot. So shout out to him. I know he's got a lot going on, but be awesome to have him back again in the future. He's just a bit busy at the minute, but there is a poll in the chat now as well. Of course, make sure to choose your faction.
Make sure to choose Street Kid.
Don't just choose it for the sake of choosing it. But yes. Yeah, other than that, yes, the
Grey.
grey. That's the one. Pat, what did you make of the grey?
Okay, so don't hate me if I'm gonna say this, but this really gives me the vibes of Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yes.
Yeah, and so far for what I saw, for what was shared, it looks it looks nice, really nice. It's you can like I said, you can compare it a little bit like Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm really interested in this big UFO what you see in the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's really interesting. It looks really nice. So who knows what we're gonna see more in the future or before it launches. So it's yeah, that's so far yes for me. Let it come on Game Pass day one.
Certainly looks interesting. That's for sure. That's for sure. Mick, did you
Yeah.
manage to see the trailer for Grey?
I didn't. No,
didn't?
It's not one I've seen.
Okay. That's
Sorry.
fair enough. Yes, I saw it as well. It certainly looked a bit. It certainly looked good. That's for sure. But I don't know what to think about it as yet. I don't have much to think about it. Put it that way. I was don't know whether or not to think more or less of it, but yeah, looks good. I don't know what it's about yet, but certainly very intrigued by it. So let's see what happens.
It
Yeah.
it looks like it's playing like in the time of the Stone Age kind of time,
Yeah.
you know. So and then with the UFO and stuff, yeah,
Yeah.
it's of course we don't know like a lot. You see some fights and boss fights and stuff probably, but yeah, it's so far it's pretty interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. We're gonna quickly wrap up the poll there. We have got, I think, 11 or 12 votes going on there. For those that have played it, final one. I'm gonna give that another minute or so, and then we'll pick the poll back up. If you haven't already voted and you have played Cyberpunk, let us know what faction you chose. At the moment, we have 55% Street Kid. We have 27% Nomad, and Corpo is at 18%, which means that somebody else in that chat is also Corpo. How dare they? How dare they?
I think Andrew Cullinane said he was Corpo.
Oh.
Yeah, Andrew.
No, fun times, fun times. But yes, other than that, of course, a few of us have had the opportunity to play Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Jen, I know you were hyped for Modern Warfare 2 after the...
And I wasn't at first because I was very critical on this game when they showed this off at Summer Game Fest. I was like, oh, it's just more Call of Duty. I'm not bothered. And then they released the multiplayer trailer recently, and I was like, oh shit, I'm getting hyped for this now. It looks really good.
Yeah.
And then playing the beta, it lived up to that hype. So I really enjoyed my time with this. I mean, me and you both streamed this for 7 hours straight one night. So that's got to say something, right?
Yep. Yeah, I probably played, and then the next day we had another 4 and a bit hours, maybe close to 5 hours. So all in all, I think I played the beta over the course of 2 and a bit days. Maybe it's about 13 hours. I think 13 hours, which is quite a significant amount considering I only played it on the Friday night and the Sunday night. So, and I played it on Friday night from 9 p.m. until 4 in the morning. So
should run your statistics for your game if you go into the Xbox app.
Oh, is it?
Should give you your time.
Let's have a quick check. I didn't even know they had that on there. so-
Sometimes betas don't get any sort of tracking though, so maybe not.
Yeah. We shall
I
see.
think I hid it earlier on the Xbox because it doesn't have achievements. I was like, oh, I might as well just hide that, and I don't know how to unhide it now. So
Yeah.
You'd have to turn it back on again. Even if it didn't work, it would make them show up. I haven't before you get to me. I didn't manage to play any of it. I wasn't not a massive Call of Duty fan. I'm how am I supposed to squeeze that in between Sea of Thieves and Monkey Island 3 though? Dutch? You know, come on. I'm only human.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I'll be jumping into Monkey Island as well this weekend, which I'm looking forward to. Eventually get
I'm
my hands on
stuck
it.
at the moment. I refuse to use any guides or any hints. I
And
don't
it's
want to use the hint
yeah.
system, and I'm on LeChuck's ship, and I'm stuck.
Yeah.
So I've got Murray though, so I'm okay.
No, it doesn't show any stats
no,
on
no
the beta.
stats on the beta,
that's a shame.
unfortunately. Before I get into my impressions, Pat, what about yourself? What did you make of Call of Duty Modern Warfare? Is that a game that you're going to pick up day one? I know you used to be a huge Call of Duty player. What did you make of the beta, and what are your thoughts?
Right. So my first game on the Xbox 360 was Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it's back then I had such a great time, met so many people.
Yeah.
And I think tweeted also about it that finally after all these Call of Duties that they brought out, sorry.
Yeah.
Finally they have a proper good Call of Duty again, you know?
Mhm.
The beta was, I had zero issues,
Yeah.
you know? And I was really impressed about the gameplay. Third person mode in Call of Duty, freaking loved it. That was so nice. It's one of the game modes that I'm probably gonna play a lot as well if I'm having the game.
It took me a while to warm up to that because it just felt so weird playing Call of Duty in third person. It's like
Yeah,
this doesn't feel right.
It is. It
I
is.
think they
It's so
need
weird. Yeah.
to add some things to tweak third person a bit better in the
Yeah.
department with throwing grenades, because throwing grenades feels really off in third person. Like knowing where to throw them and aim in
Yeah.
third person is a bit odd. I think they need to have
Yeah.
like that system in place where it shows like sort of transparent arch where your grenade's going to go to be a little bit better with showing that in third person.
Yeah, and one thing that I also think with third person, what they need to do, what they need to fix is that as soon as you start aiming down sight, you have this first part where you slowly the camera goes to your character, and then all of a sudden it's on your gun,
Yeah.
and then it's so weird to aim at the enemy. And with PUBG, you have the type of settings that you can do. With PUBG, you also have this going from third person right into aiming down sight,
Yeah.
and you don't have that, like that small transition that you have to your gun. You don't have that. It just directly goes into your gun, and that's maybe what they need to like fix a little bit in Call of Duty third person mode. But yeah. We've played a few games, of course. We played with Crazy Louie. We played with Silent Cypher. So I had a great time again on Call of Duty. So yeah.
Awesome.
It's definitely a game we're gonna pick up since I'm game sharing with Peerplug, of course.
Yes.
And he's also like a big fan of Modern Warfare. So yeah.
Nice.
Definitely, it's gonna come, but
Yeah.
when? Yeah, we're gonna see, but definitely, yeah.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Yeah, for me personally, like I say, I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. I think I'm again with Call of Duty, I can take it in bite-sized chunks, but it's always more fun with these games when you're playing with your friends. When you're playing alone, you can play it maybe for an hour or so and then you turn it off. When I'm playing with friends, it's just game after game after game after game after game. And even if you're losing, you're just having a laugh and you're having fun, and that's what gaming's all about, really. And it's bringing back those old days of co-op party shooters. And one thing I'm looking forward to in the full game is getting a community night on the go where it's custom matches and we're playing against the community and against friends, and we're not playing against randoms, and we're all just having a fun and shooting each other and trying to sneak up on each other and things. I think that is going to just be so much fun. Having a big party chat, having massive kind of 4v4s or 6v6s or big team battles, whatever it is we can do in custom games. I think it's going to be awesome.
That would be pretty cool, though.
Yeah, and I'm just looking forward to seeing all the different weapons and the add-ons you can get for them all, and figuring out configurations and just again playing the game, playing the campaign, seeing what the campaign's like and everything in between. But overall, yeah, I think this is going to be the first Call of Duty I'm going to pick up in a very long time. I haven't bothered with many of them before. The last proper one I picked up was Modern Warfare, and even that was way after it had released. I got it on sale at some point or something. I didn't pay full price. But this one, I think I might be able to pick it up at launch, on launch, literally release date on the 28th of October. So, woohoo! Get some community matches on the go that weekend, maybe.
There was a few issues in the beta.
Yeah, of course,
occasionally it would freak out and leave a couple of people behind in the lobby. You'd have to return to lobby. Funny thing there though is if you're the host and you leave, you can bring your whole party with you, so that shocks the rest of the people that are in the game. They're like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
That happened quite a lot.
Yeah.
And there's like some screen flashing, so if you do suffer with like epilepsy, that you need to fix that as soon as possible. The flashing on the screen,
yes,
in the background of kill cams and all that was really, really obnoxious at times.
Yeah. So Shady in the
even
chat
made me feel a
says,
bit weird.
yeah. So Shady in the chat says his biggest issue with third person on Call of Duty was changing shoulders by pressing the left stick when you're not walking forward. Didn't feel good or particularly responsive. Just wish it was the D-pad. I agree. It didn't need to be like change shoulder. It was accidental, and I did that a few times, and I'm like, what the hell's going on here? That's something could be easily changed. Yeah, you're muted again, Mick.
I'm sorry. I do that a lot on those games where you can switch shoulder.
Yeah.
And I find myself thinking, why does it feel off? And then thinking, oh crap, I pressed that button
again. What the hell's going on here?
But yeah, I mean, I liked 2019 Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel excited for that like I did with this. This really brought back those Modern Warfare 2, the classic Modern Warfare 2 days of playing this in a party chat with a bunch of your friends and having a bloody good time.
Yeah. And
it's the first Call of Duty game that I've been excited like this for about 8 years plus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, shout out to everybody who's joined us over the weekend as well. We had, of course, Geordie from Complete Xbox. We had Fanto Sir. We had Silent Cypher, Crazy Louie, General C, Pat, Perrenpluck.
Jed as well joined us for a few games.
Yeah. We had numerous people across the weekend. It was absolutely awesome. And of course, it's just a case of who can fit in and who we can get in that's online and who isn't already in a party. Playing the beta. I can foresee this being pretty successful. I think even with the issues that a lot of the big COD diehards have, I think it's going to be one of the biggest launches COD's had for a very long time.
It was the biggest played Call of Duty beta. It was the most hours played, most players, and the most matches played in any Call of Duty beta.
Yeah, and sorry I missed out Stuff Sean there. Yes, Stuff Sean even joined us for a little bit on I think it was the final day. The final day he jumped on for a bit on the Sunday. He did well. I don't know whether or not Sean's going to pick it up at launch, but if he does, of course, community games are on the go, so we're all going to shoot each other.
I'm going to be playing this a lot. I wouldn't be surprised if this becomes my mainstream game.
Hey, but one question: what did you guys think of the as when you start shooting? What I've noticed is that from some guns, you got so many smoke coming out of the barrel.
Yeah.
It was so hard to see your enemy, and you're just shooting in just.
I didn't actually notice that, to be honest. What bugged me was the cinder block footsteps, like running around. Like, you're the Iron Giant on the battlefield. And then activating dead silence. It's like, hello, I'm over here.
Yeah,
Shoot me now.
That's why you don't wear boots in Sea of Thieves.
yeah, yeah.
Nobody can hear you.
But it's even
Yeah,
that dead
it's pretty
silence
funny.
thing is the most hilarious, ridiculous thing I've ever seen in a game. It literally, when you
Stuff
activate
Sean
dead
said he'd
silence,
rather
which
play
is meant
Sniper
to,
Elite.
it's meant to nullify your footsteps so nobody can hear you. For you don't hear when you're activating it, but for everybody else, there's a siren goes off to let them know that dead silence has been activated. Is it what on earth is going on there? No,
ridiculous.
then it leaves glowing footsteps on the floor, and not only that, but when you're running through grass, it's actually louder than it was before. So it's like, what is like? You need to fix dead silence because dead silence is meant to be silent. You're not meant to shout
Yeah.
to
Clues in the
everybody.
name.
You're not going to
Dead
be like,
loud,
by
they
the
just
way,
call it.
I've just activated dead silence, and then run
A bit
away.
like the Ron seal, the anti-Ron seal of gaming
Yeah.
does exactly the opposite of what it says on the tin.
Yeah, exactly. Oh dear me, it's mad.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it though. Had
Yeah,
a proper blast playing it with the lads.
Yeah,
100%,
definitely.
100%. But yes,
I mean, I upgraded my game to the Vault Edition. I only pre-ordered the standard, and I was like, I have to upgrade it. I want those skins. I need those skins.
I say I'm not going to go that far.
Yeah.
I'm just going to get the regular Call of Duty. Maybe in a few months' time, if I feel the need to get any skins or DLCs or whatever, I will do. But initially,
I'm sure they'll sell that pack separately at launch.
Oh,
surely
100%, of
they
course
will
they will.
give you the upgrade.
Of course they will. They love money. Of course they do.
You know it.
Yeah. But yes, Fanto says as well, I'm going to go full Rambo and get a Vault Edition. Awesome
Good
stuff.
on you. Needs to be done.
Shady says, I absolutely love the invasion mode. My favourite mode to play.
I haven't played that.
I think I played one game and I don't think anybody quite knew what the hell the objective was. It was just like a huge like team deathmatch, but with bots included and
It's-
vehicles.
I'd say it's definitely a mode that's aimed at fans of Battlefield. So if you love
Yeah.
Battlefield, you're gonna love that invasion mode because it's very similar.
Yeah.
You got
And
vehicles
I was
in it.
and I was curious because with the customization, I saw vehicles, and I was like, vehicles? I haven't
Yeah,
seen any
that's for
vehicle
that
in the
mode,
game, you know.
basically. That mode
But
and Warzone 2
understand
when it
why.
comes out.
Yeah, that
Uh-huh,
Warzone 2. Yeah. Which of course is coming out at the same time
There's
as the
Ground
game.
War as well, which is similar, but I
Yeah.
don't think it's that objective-based stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
A team deathmatch, I think Ground War is. It's like a big team
So
battle
Shady
style
as well
thing.
said the Ghost skins look so much cooler than the base game characters. I was pretty disappointed with the base game character offering, to be honest. That's fair.
Hmm.
That's fair. I ended up going for Saddam Hussein as my main character because he was the only guy with some form of facial hair.
Yeah, and the ironic thing there is we was playing against the person that had the gamer tag Saddam Hussein.
What was the other guy called? Though Saddam Hussein and what was his name?
Pablo Tescobar.
Pablo
You can't forget
Tescobar.
that. That's a brilliant name.
Tesco.
Yeah, that's a
Oh,
fucking brilliant
wow.
name.
Yeah, we had two.
That's another thing on that made me chuckle. Was there's some people out there with some real special names, like
Yeah.
they proper thought out their name.
really
brilliant.
thought out. Good fun. But there's always some fun ones in there. Of course, as the people love playing silly buggers with their gamer tags or whatever. But no, it's fun.
Hey, okay. So last question. On the first Modern Warfare 2 that was out, yeah. Back in those days, you had that lobby fights, you know,
Yeah,
saying words to each other, to the enemy and stuff.
Oh yeah,
The whole
weird
lobby
mum
went
jokes
crazy.
thrown around,
Yeah.
racial
know-
slurs. People couldn't contain their crap.
I'm from a city, The Hague, Den Haag,
yeah,
and in my gamer tag says and my name is 070 are the first three numbers of the city where I'm from. And I remember one day I was playing with friends and we all had the same 070 in our name, like a whole clan, you know.
yeah.
And this was nuts. We started a game and we come into a lobby and it says 020. And that's Amsterdam. Well, if there's one thing, is that those two cities, The Hague and Amsterdam, with football, with Ajax and The Hague, always huge fights and that kind of things. So that lobby went so nuts that you could not even hear the people like they were screaming so loud. They were just going crazy, and I was like, "What the fuck happened here, man? Oh my god, that was insane." That's one of the things I not gonna forget of Modern Warfare 2 back in those
You
days.
usually get that one person that starts the trouble, and then they just go silent in the background to listen to it. It all unfold.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. and
but
of
that was
course,
yeah.
They've
Yeah.
got the open mic
I would-
lobbies back now as well. So, and even Shady says that. He says open mic lobbies being back is awesome. I love the proxy chat as well whilst playing. Hearing the dude you just killed
Yeah.
cry about it never gets old.
If you're a live streamer, though, go ahead and turn that off because there's going to be bad words thrown out there and it can get you banned because you're liable for that slipping through.
yeah.
Don't do something to mute your in-game lobbies, then
Yeah.
No.
If you're gonna
You're
stream
asking
it,
to
yeah.
be
If you're gonna
banned at that
stream it,
point.
stick to party chat. If you're gonna
Mhm.
just play it by yourself, have fun in the lobbies. But
It's-
yeah,
luckily that they do have options in there to mute your lobby chat and all that. So
Yeah. No.
yeah, definitely. And Fanto Sir says, of course, midweek mix-up clan needs setting up, although Studios may have already done that. Yeah,
was the
we
only
will
one
set it up.
with the clan
Stu
tag.
was the only one with the clan tag on, and we didn't know how to set it up.
Oh.
It was like, Stu.
No. I had the same. I had MWMU
Oh, did
in
you?
my clan tag. yes, definitely.
We were like,
I think it was
"You
like
got the clan tag on?"
the last time we streamed it, the last time we actually played it, we all noticed it. I was like, Stu's got the mix-up clan tag, and none of the others had it.
Yeah, we can. We'll definitely get that set up though, and get everybody into the clan, of course, for online play. But we'll set up some community nights when that's out, 100%, because it's too much fun. And against each other, it's
Yeah.
going to be even funnier, especially when everyone's in party chat and shouting at each other and trying to put each other off.
Yeah, I was being called a camper because
Yeah.
I stood still for about 2 seconds,
By Jordan or Jaden,
Jordan.
sorry.
and he memed it the whole time.
That was good fun. Really good
man.
fun.
Sorry, Jordan's face when I was at EGX, every time I saw him, just kept mentioning about him being memed by you. And he was just like, oh, God.
It weren't just me though. Dutch
I
was at it
know.
as well, and Geordie from Complete Xbox, and he was there at
I know he was.
EGX.
It was so funny.
that was
It was
funny.
relentless though. It was literally
Oh,
the
man,
entire
it was
day. He
relentless.
was like, for fuck's
Oh,
sake.
there was that one day where I was an absolute pain in the ass to him. He must have been sick of me because it was every like 30
Yeah.
minutes or so there was a new picture up or a new
You did
gift
that-
that I'd edited.
Yeah, you did that one with the face swap thing on the Batista. And that was just that. He's like, that's it, I'm done. I'm done.
Oh dear me.
God, I can be a right cunt at times.
It was good though. It was good. Let's face it. Some good face swaps in there. I liked how we
brilliant.
swapped that kid that was dressed up in the Gears outfit for his head, and then
That one in the Pikachu car.
Geordie swapped it so that guy's head was on Jordan's body, and then you swapped it so they were both Jordan's head.
I know, yeah.
oh, funny.
Oh,
Bailey Making Rant
eyes
says,
are
"What did
watering."
you make of third person mode?" When you first start third person mode, for me, it's a bit weird. But the first game I had in first person mode was the best round I had for most of the weekend. I got like 20 odd kills and like 5 deaths. I was like, I have rocked this mode. This is the mode for me, boys. And then the next game I played in third person, I got smashed to bits. I was like, oh dear.
oh, I
was
wasn't.
just
My
a flash
first
in the
round
pan.
in third person, I was crying because I was dying so much.
Yeah.
I couldn't get on with it. But
After you
in
get
the
used
end,
to
after
it.
playing it for like 8 rounds, I got used to it.
Yeah. I actually quite enjoyed it. I think once you've got used to it, it's good. But I think trying to play third person and regular first person mixed, you can't play them both. You've got to either have a day when you're just playing third person and get used to that and play that for the day, or a day playing first person. I don't think if you're trying to mix them all day long, I think you won't be playing very well. Put it that way,
Mhm.
because we noticed
Yeah, it
that
threw
when we
me
were
off
going back and
to
forwards.
first person.
Yeah, going back and forwards between it took a while to get used to again. Like, once you've been playing
No.
third person, trying to get used to first person again, you were like, oh, I can't see everything now. Shit. And then going back into third person from first person, you're like, oh, okay, now I can see everything, but now I feel like I'm in Gears of War, but I can't chainsaw people. But then people weren't, because you could hip fire, but people forgot that, and everyone was trying to zoom in, so they weren't zooming in quick enough, so you could get the shot off quicker. So yeah, sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't, but overall I enjoyed it. Actually, it's an addition. It's modes. It's something that 343 need to take in notice of, because Call of Duty's bringing many modes out on release date with plenty maps.
I'll tell you, there was more content packed in that beta than there's ever been in Halo Infinite so far.
Yeah, which is stupid to say. They had like domination, they had invasion, they had third person mode, first person
A
mode,
hostage
team
mode,
deathmatch, hostage, and that's a beta. And they had like 3-4 maps, and that's a beta. It's not even a full game.
Barely
So-
Making Rent asks, you guys going to do community days for Modern Warfare
Absolutely.
2?
Heck yeah.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Heck yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. 100%. But yes, I'm going to wrap up the poll now, because the poll has got 16 votes. Let's get the finals going here. I'm sure Jen will be happy to see this one.
Let's go.
The results: Street Kid won with 50%. Nomad, so obviously 16 votes, so you got 50% of the 16 votes there. Nomad got 31%, and Corpo coming in last with the 18%. So
This Corpo came last, though.
yeah, at least Corpo came last. Yeah, can't have none of those fancy pants with him.
Then probably this is also the way I'm gonna play it. I'm Street Kid now. Then next time I'm gonna play Nomad and Corpo is last.
Yeah. 100% Corpo definitely last. I tried to start a Corpo game and I was like, nope. No, I'm gonna start a Street Kid game next. But yeah, 100%. I'm actually really looking forward to it, and I'm glad it's the end of October. It gives us a chance to kind of chill out a bit for the rest of this month, play a few other things, catch up on a few games, finish Ni no Kuni. I do need to finish that off. Play a few other little games that are coming out this month. And of course, then wrap it up at the end of the month with some Modern Warfare and get some lobby games going. Certainly, it's going to be interesting.
I need to get on Deathloop and try it out. I still haven't played it yet.
So Shady says, I chose Corpo. I wanted to get my elitist asshole on. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Amblick says, Judy plus Aldecado ending. Yep, I absolutely agree. Yeah, when you're doing the Nomad ending as well. Love that. But again, Panam or Judy? Who do you choose? Who do you
Panam.
choose? No, I haven't seen Wild Hearts trailer. I think me and Jen will catch up on some of these anonymous trailers that we've managed to miss out on and speak about them on the weekend.
Watch the Hellraiser trailer for the TV series. It looks really
yeah,
good.
I'll watch that as well. Amblix also asks, will Redfall, Starfield, and Forza really come out between March and June next year? Yes.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Redfall, absolutely. Starfield, yes. Forza's the only one where I have slight doubts. But it could be. But definitely Redfall, definitely Starfield. I don't know about Forza. But definitely Redfall and Starfield. Redfall's already had playables at Gamescom and things like that.
I'm surprised that wasn't at EGX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm guessing
Do you
you
know
were
what-
slightly
do you know
hoping it was.
Yeah, definitely. I'm starting to get more and more fed up with Forza 8 and the fact that every bit of social media that you see for Forza, from the Forza Motorsport team,
Yeah.
get there in the end, is all photos from back in 7.
Yeah.
Start showing some bloody screenshots
From
from
the
8.
new one. Yeah.
Stop giving me pictures and people's screenshots and stuff from 7. I don't care. Stop showing it me.
Yeah.
It's like they've gone on a. There seems to be more of them recently as well.
Yeah.
You know, the last month or so, they've been pushing loads and loads and loads of screenshots, but they're all from set. They've all got the name in the bottom corner. Forza Motorsport 7. You're like, I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
Show
Don't
me
show me
8.
this. I don't care about this anymore.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Driving me up the wall.
Absolutely. But yes, last mini topic for this evening, depending on where you are, is, of course, I know we briefly spoke about it at the beginning, speaking about E3 and getting there eventually, obviously as a group. But, of course, E3 is returning both as a consumer event and as a business event. So it has been, of course, I think the guys behind PAX have worked with the E3 team in order to refine what E3 is going forward. So I think that is one of the benefits of it, because PAX East and PAX West are huge events over in America. Very popular and successful events. They have a lot going there. Again, that's a mixture between trade shows and consumer event at both of them. But, of course, what we've always said is it's never quite the same without E3. Even with E3 has been there and it's been a little bit lackluster, it's the fact that everything's at least got some form of structure to it around that point. You know, when it's E3 point, you've got Xbox and Nintendo, and you've got EA, and you've got Ubisoft, and everyone's in a week-long structure that you can kind of build yourself around and understand, okay, this is when I'm going to do this, and this is when we're going to cover this stuff, as opposed to previous years when we haven't had E3, and it's been spread out over weeks and weeks, or months. Like the first time E3 wasn't on, and we had like 2 months of information spread out over like week-long gaps and 2-week gaps and things. We had like one showcase, and then we had to wait another 4 weeks, and then we had another showcase, and another 4 weeks, and then another showcase. It was like, what is going on? Like, everything's so spread out. So the one benefit of E3 coming back, of course, for everybody is that hopefully it brings a little bit more structure to the industry showcase period. Now we know yearly we've got E3 back. We have Summer Games Fest back. Xbox does their showcase. We know Nintendo does their own thing. PlayStation, still haven't had anything from them this year. Hopefully they return next year. Doesn't look like they're going to make it this year at all now. We also have Gamescom. We also have TGS, which was really good this year. We also have the Game Awards, which we've still got to come again this year as well. And then in between that, of course, you've got kind of smaller events, indie showcases and things like that. Of course, we're doing our own indie showcase, so it's good to have a bit of structure about it again. And hopefully next year, Marvel and Disney do an actual good showcase that isn't like 4 minutes long.
Let's not talk about that.
let's just pretend that never happened.
That didn't
and
happen.
move on.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
That show is never gonna get any better.
Hey, there
If
was
that's
one
what they're
good-
going to bring to the table, don't bother next year, please.
There was one
Yeah.
good announcement that came out of that for an indie studio that we're big fans on and friends with, and that is Delilah Studios did get the announcement
Yes.
that they're creating the awesome Disney Illusion Land.
Yeah.
That is a very old, actually, if you go back, way back into Disney kind of IPs, Disney Illusion Land is both an old kind of comic, it's an old mini film, it is an old animation that they've essentially revived into this game again. News from us is that we've been speaking to Delilah Studios. Of course, they are very busy making the game at the moment, so it's going to be a while. But we have got a date, and of course, AJ, who's the CEO of Delilah Studios, we've had him on before for Battletoads, but AJ is going to be joining us on the Sunday show on the 11th of December. So he'll be joining us then. That is officially scheduled into his calendar, so that is no change now. That's arranged via his assistant. He has an assistant now. Ooh. Moving up in the world, AJ. But yeah, it's last time we had I think it was he had the head of HR who was making sure he didn't say anything. we had Lucy, who was awesome, which was one of the artists there. I think she's one of the lead artists now at Delilah, which is even better. Phenomenal senior. She's an awesome artist throughout. And of course, AJ. I might see if AJ can pull Lucy or someone back onto the show as well, because again, huge congratulations to them. Getting a Disney IP for an indie studio is massive. No matter what kind of Disney IP that is, they've managed to bag the big one, in my opinion, and get the figureheads of Disney as a game with the likes of Mickey, Minnie, Pluto, Daffy Duck, Donald Duck, and all them kind of joining in, and such a huge game for them as well. So congrats to them. Great to have them on the 11th of December. Again, that's a Sunday show. So of course we'll have that. Of course, in due course. I'm not going to put it up yet because I can't plan that far ahead for everybody. But in due course, we will have that up on the channel so people can set their reminders. But that'll be good. That'll be good stuff. Of course, we know that this week's episode was originally meant to be Metal Hellsinger, but of course, scheduling conflicts, as developers do. But in the coming weeks, we'll have a rescheduled date, and we'll obviously get David on and get that booked in again. But yeah, we'll be trying to schedule a few developers over the coming weeks and months up to year end and into next year as we continue to grow. But it's going to be absolutely awesome. But chaps, E3 next year. Of course, we're not going to head to it ourselves. But what do you make of it coming back? Do you think this is good news for the industry? Bad news? Do you hope it does well? Do you hope it's the start of a nice revitalization? I'm going to go to Mick first this time. What do you think, Mick?
I hope that I don't know about anybody else, but I always remember I was always most excited for E3 when it had its own press days first.
Yeah,
because they were the days where the press would go in and they would do interviews, they would do all sorts of stuff, and then even when it became more public in the later bits,
yeah,
the first few press days they got a lot of footage, interviews, everything else, and all that info then came out over the rest of the week.
yeah.
So even when you had shows, in between those shows, you had stuff from IGN and all these other GameSpot and all these other people that were there with showing off new bits, even if it wasn't like Microsoft, Nintendo, or Sony. They'd be going to people like, I don't know, Corsair or Lucid Sound and all these other things, and showing off, here's the new headset and this is what it does and this is how and there'd be lots of those sorts of things going on in between the shows as well. I miss all that, and if they do some of that, like you said then before about they're going to do press days again at the beginning, I'm all for that. I know it's not ideal for the people who want to go and see it who live locally, but sorry, but the rest of us don't get that chance. So they used to get a lot more information out of these companies when the people weren't around, the general public. So yeah, I'm all for it, and I missed E3.
Yeah,
I hope it'll come back. I hope it does well. I really hope it does well. So
yeah,
and then never know, maybe one day.
Yeah, maybe one day we'll fulfill that road trip dream of a midweek road trip in the States for E3.
Midweek road trip.
RV road trip.
I'll get a giant van vinyl and just stick it on the rental van. just a giant shield. Here we go, minibus on tour. But yeah, no, awesome stuff. Jen, what about yourself? What do you make of the news?
It's good that it's coming back, without a doubt. Hopefully
Yeah.
they can pull it off and it becomes the yearly thing again. Fingers crossed, because I love E3. Grew up watching all the events. Usually every year I sit down and watch it with my dad, growing up as a kid, and would be hyped for all the games that were being announced me mainly looking forward to another Halo game being announced.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with this coming year's E3, because hopefully it becomes a big thing again. Now, might not, because obviously Jeff Keighley's got his big summer games thing as well, and he's going to push even harder with that. So who knows? We'll have to see how this one goes, because I would love to go to E3.
I like my E3 news without adverts.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, hats off
and
to Summer
without
Games
The
Fest.
Rock popping up promoting his energy drink.
I was going to say hats off to him this year. Hats off to him this year. He did downscale the adverts significantly. It was actually much better.
He did.
So hats off
It was
to
an
him.
improvement.
We know for a fact Game Awards is going to be full of adverts. But
Which is why I won't be watching it.
But there's also a lot of awesome news that comes out the back of it. So
Mountain Dew and G Fuel and Doritos adverts.
I'll certainly be watching it. I think
There's a reason they call him the Doritos Pope.
The one thing I think he needs to do for Game Awards though is not just skim over some of the awards, because sometimes they're just like, and such won this bit, and you're like, oh,
here's that game. Here's that game you were looking for. They're just gone. Never mind.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, really? No, give them actual like stage presence. Just go and even if you're doing it quickly, give them like. I know you can't give everybody a 5-minute speech on stage and things like that because some of the awards are bigger, but at least let them come and collect the award and say thank you and then go off stage. At least give them a little bit of, instead of just going and such won this and such won this and such won. Like some of the smaller awards, give them that appreciation. Properly. Yeah, but that's my only thing. Like, I can understand with it being his own show and it brings up serious numbers that he's going to have advertisements on it. I'll be watching it certainly because I know there's going to be some big announcements there. There always is.
Will we be doing a reaction stream to that?
Yeah, I think for the Game
That'll be
Awards,
another one of them ones at 1 o'clock in the morning, though, won't it? I would imagine.
Probably
1 or 2 in the morning it starts.
Yeah, I'll be in work the next day, almost definitely. So
it should be me and Jen then. I don't think Pat will be awake for that. You never know.
You never know.
Yeah, you never know. If Pat's awake,
I might be. Yeah, I might be having vacation on that time.
Oh yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point.
Book day off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can also do that. Just take a day off after that.
But you never know. Pat, what do you make of E3's return next year? Do you think you hope it does well again? Do you want to see it come back and be as good as it used to be?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, of course. It was one of the things that you were looking for every year.
Yeah.
You know, all the game announcements, all the news about games, and that kind of stuff. But it's great that it's gonna be back again in person, especially for those that go there and that they can meet each other, because that's what Boxy also said. I think that's one of the main things that a lot of people do on E3 is just meeting each other.
Yeah.
So, and of course, because of the whole COVID thing and stuff, people couldn't. But yeah, it's awesome. It's gonna be back, and I'm looking forward to it, man. Just to see what they have, what they announce. Yeah, I'm always hyped for E3. So
yeah, definitely.
It's been a weird couple of years not having it.
Yeah,
look
yeah, it is.
And it's felt really hollow.
Yeah,
not having that. I always look forward to that time of the year. We get that big chunk of news.
Like,
and then
everyone like gamer does, like Christmas for us.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the Super Bowl for gamers, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's just it's the thing you look forward to, and then not only do you look forward to it, then you look forward to the time after it, where you think, right, now I've got 4, maybe 5 games that I need to start saving for.
Yeah.
And you can you're watching trailers, you're keeping up to information, keeping up to date with everything that's happening with those games, and you're counting down those days till they come out, and what you've pretty much got the rest of the year planned out, what you're going to buy and what you're going to be playing. And especially this year, nothing. E3 came and went, and I was just thinking, right, well, I don't know what I'm playing this year because there's nothing. Apart from a couple of smaller games, which I'm going to get on Game Pass anyway.
Yep.
So
that's what I loved about E3. It was like all the trailers you get to look forward to that come out in like the next 2, 3 years, 4 years, and you're hyped for them, and then you put them on your calendar that these games are coming this year, or stuff like that, and we didn't really get that this year.
And one
that's
thing
a
I
shame.
missed as well was obviously the old Xbox conferences. Like, I like the way that they've set up the way that they've done the digital version, but I want to see the stage version again. I want to see the arena packed full of people. Like, you love hearing, like, when a big announcement comes, and you love seeing the crowd, like,
The
put off
reaction.
with it and get hyped. I miss seeing that even at all of them, like even at the Bethesda events where they unveiled Doom and they had like the metal band on stage kicking off and like showcasing Doom and things for the first time and like all that stuff. You miss it all. You kind of take it for granted when it's not there, but when it isn't there, you recognize that it's not there. You notice it big time. I think that's one of the biggest misses from E3 because obviously we've never been and physically met people at E3 before, so we can't miss that. But we miss the Super Bowl kind of mentality of the whole event for it. And of course, next year I think we'll all try and get to Gamescom. I mean, see if we can even try and drag Pat there somehow to Germany and get him to Gamescom. And Jen, we're midweek on tour in Germany.
Searching for press passes for midweek
Mix Up Gaming Company. Yeah.
We'll just get you to black our way in.
That's So as for people who didn't know, of course, with EGX.
No, here we go.
And Mick, for Mick and EGX, of course, he went in and there was the press section, and you had to pre-register, and you had to have a company that you went down into. So naturally, of course, being a representative of the Midweek Mix-Up crew. He's officially registered us as a company now, so we have a Midweek Mix-Up Gaming Company. So our first game will be due out in 2027, and
we're gonna 2037.
We're gonna start a GoFundMe page.
I'm still just learning the tools. I've downloaded Unreal yesterday. It's might be a while.
But how awkward would it be that like a filming crew was there and just starting asking questions about and what's your company doing, you know? And
so
we were literally me and Paddy were sat in the central bit where all the food court basically is. So there was a Costa there, and we'd seen on the other side to EGX there was another whole other side, the same size as EGX, filled with all these booths, and you could see Sega. You can see Sony and Xbox, and you can see Nintendo and Atari and all these other things. And we're like, what's all that in there? So we went and tried to flash our passes, for EGX, and they were like, no. And this woman was like, just having none of it. She was like, no. She didn't want to know us at all. And we sat in the coffee place for about an hour. And then it sort of dawned on us, like, I wonder how much it is to go in and have a look. Anyway, it turned out that you couldn't pay to go in, but you could get in for free as long as you had a company name. And thus the Midweek Gaming Company was created. And then I sent my link. At the end of when you've signed up, it said successfully registered.
Yeah.
Take this QR code to the thing and get it printed out. And then it was like, do you have any other company associates you wish to send this to? So I sent it to Paddy, and he registered himself as my media. I think it was like media manager assistant, and I was the manager. So we got these passes with Midweek Gaming Company. Mike Glynn, media manager, central media manager.
Oh, brilliant.
There wasn't much. Well, there was some nice stuff in there, but it's all stuff that's like, not out yet, that they're trying to basically get companies to buy and sell in their stores. So there was some interesting stuff, but again, no freebies, which is what we wanted.
Yeah, that's fair. No, that's awesome. We'll eventually at some point, because my ambition for Midweek Mix Up as a group is to eventually be a company, be a media company that encompasses many things, whether it be a full website with reviews and news.
Too late. I already own it.
Yeah, he's already got it. He's already registered it. He's now the CEO. He's taken over.
This is an aggressive
A
takeover.
hostile takeover. Yeah, that is the. But funnily enough, that is the overall ambition of what I've got, and I've mentioned this since day dot though, and one of the kind of companies I look to in the gaming space that a lot of people might have seen or might have heard of, at least, is Yogscast, who started off as just Minecraft, literally just Minecraft gaming videos and things like that, and now they're a game distributor, a publisher. They create video games. They're still streamers. They raise £10 million a year for charity. It's insane. They are, again, content creators, reviewers. They're anything and everything to do with gaming, but they're ultra positive and they give back a lot as well. But they're a
It's
company.
pretty similar with Dunkey, Video Game Dunkey.
Yeah,
He's just started his own indie publishing company.
yeah. It's huge, and that's the type of stuff that we kind of look to in the future. And of course, you never know. It's all about hard work and perseverance. And as and when we get to that stage, of course, hopefully we do at some point, and then all of these chaps won't have to do their regular jobs and can literally just do the all about video games and gaming and stuff like that in the future. And that's essentially where we want to go there. So I don't have to do a regular job and I can just have fun with everything to do with games and something that we're passionate about. And get more people into it that are passionate as well, whether it be social media managers or whether it be, again, reviewers or anything in between. Yeah, you're like,
I already have one of them.
Yeah, I want to be that as well. I'm CEO, CFO, social media manager, delivery driver.
I've actually got the pass somewhere. I've kept it somewhere. I'll have to find it.
Public relations
Names
manager.
and everything written on it. It's dead funny.
PR, yeah, he's everything in between. But no, I do want to, and obviously everything that people want to do, and be able to enable them to get there. Have the funds and have the ability, the income and the earnings from the company to be able to get people into it for the first time, whether that be streamers and them not just relying on waiting to be affiliate or waiting to be a partnered YouTuber in order to get some money out of it and have a living or earn a living. Basically get a wage from our company in order to do that because we trust in the way that they do things and that they'll eventually get to that stage. So it's essentially enabling people to get where they need to be and give them a step into the gaming space, and essentially that's what we're trying to break into. But yeah, it's obviously long term. It's not when you have a look at every one of these that have done it or are doing it, it takes a long time. It usually takes anywhere from 5 to 7 years to get to that stage. We're 2 years into that now. We're still very early days, but that is the aim. That is the essential aim, to be able to forget about the daily life of doing our mundane jobs that we do right now just to get by and actually have jobs that we thoroughly enjoy and are interested in. So that's it. That's the goal, the ultimate goal. It's the dream.
Good place to end, I think, that.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Chaps, it's been a pleasure. It's been a blast. Let people know where they can find you, of course. First, I'm going to start with the General C. Brother, let people know where they can find you and what you've got coming up.
You can find me on Twitter, words today, _General_C. Right. Now that's out. I will be switching to YouTube soon for streaming. I'm going to see out the rest of this month, only a few more days, and then make my switch to my new YouTube live streaming channel, and there's going to be shorts and clips on there too.
Yeah.
I am getting back into video making. I'm actually having an intro worked on by Sean Labrie. He's actually starting that tonight, so I'm excited to get back to making videos. I've got a few videos in the pipeline, some Halo videos I'm working on, Gears of War videos, a few other things, more like theorizing and stuff like that type of content.
Awesome. Awesome stuff. And of course, the weekend edition. See you there.
Yeah, back here at the weekend, and obviously next Tuesday for Sea of Thieves.
Yes. Yes, most definitely. Most definitely. Next up, Mick. Brother, let people know where they can find you and what you've got coming up.
Yeah, usual places: Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. I'm probably going to end up doing the same as Jen and yourself, and switching over to YouTube at some point soon. Partly because we can do like the multi-streaming thing,
Yeah.
and get us all on the same thing, which we can't do on Twitch. Just seems to make sense. Yeah, so I've got a couple of videos out at the moment. Actually, I should have brought my lantern down. Really, I had a Sea of Thieves lantern made by looting Lazaro.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's really good. I'm very happy with it. And we actually specifically asked for the small ones, me and Phil, because the one she had, I can't really show it, but all she had was a good, like, 4.5. They're the regular size ones that she does. And both of these are like, I don't really want one that big. It seems a bit over the top. So I said, "Did you smaller ones?" And she said, "I could probably scale one down." And I said, "Well, yeah, go on then. We'll have one of them each." So yeah, and I went with the killer whale one, and it's really good.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is with the light inside, you can hold it up, and it actually works as a lantern. You can walk around in the dark and see what you're doing, like something out of bloody, like that bit on Harry Potter when that old guy's
Yes.
going through the thing, going through the house, and Voldemort's inside the house, like, and he's got that lantern up. It's like that. You can walk through with it like a thing. It's brilliant.
Yeah, that's
So I
nice.
did a video on that. Really impressed. Love that. And then of course the other thing was the old. I got the another controller.
Yes.
Can't really see on the camera very well, but
The white elite.
I put the purple D-pad, or the purple disc pad, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
on the new Elite Core controller. And yeah, I'm gonna give this, like I said on my video, there's been quite a lot of sort of things about the Elite controllers. So I'm just gonna stick to using this one now, and before the Warren, give it a year
Yeah.
and see how
I
it
think-
goes.
I think I'm going to do the same because I want to stop using this before I end up ruining it.
And that's why I bought this one, because I have one of them. I've been using it, and I'm finding it more and more difficult to go back to a regular controller, having used an Elite, because they're just so much better.
Yeah.
But I just don't want to. I don't want to wear that one out, and I also want to know these ones are supposedly more updated inside. Some of the parts are more sturdy than inside the Halo and the earlier ones.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give this 12 months of use, basically, with occasionally switching to something else when it's new, maybe. But this is getting 12 months of use, and I'm going to do another video in 12 months and see how it went. So that's the plan. Yeah, so that video is on my YouTube channel.
I'm just waiting for a design lab so I can get mine in purple.
And purple.
They're coming as well. I will be getting probably a purple one as well. But yeah, I'm going to be getting one of them. But that'll be the bit like the Halo one. I'll be using that on special occasions. I'm going to stick to that one and abuse it and give it 12 months of just constant use to see how it goes. 12 months time, another video out. I'm going to come back and let everyone know what I thought of it and whether they fix the problems.
Yeah. Awesome stuff. Last but not least, Pathieu. Let people know where they can find you, brother, and what you've got coming up.
Well, you guys can find me, of course, on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, all in the same name, Pathieu070.
And now YouTube.
And what I have, but I need to figure out some things because I tried a stream this weekend.
You did, yeah.
Yeah, I've tried one out. Yeah, but it was so laggy. It's undoable to do a stream. So
Are you using OBS?
No, he's
no.
got
I have a Chromebook, so
right.
cannot use an OBS. Dutch sent me like a solution, but then I need to put the Chromebook in developer mode, and then I will lose all my stuff what's on my Chromebook. So
Yeah, that's a
no,
no-go.
not gonna do that.
Yeah.
That's a no-go. Yeah. So yeah,
Might be
maybe.
worth investing in a little laptop to stream from or something.
Yeah. But with the current situation with the
Yeah.
energy
Yeah.
prices, so it's maybe in the future, but I'll keep uploading like videos, clips on my own YouTube channel under the same name as well, Petru070. So if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel, and then keep up with the videos that I post.
Yes.
Just I have no like schedule when I post a video, so just it's just for fun. So.
Yeah. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Quick shout out to Marion there, member for 13 months now. Thank you, brother. Of course, for the continuous support. I think one of the longest members we've got there, along with Assassin Looper, who's still a member. Of course, hope she's doing well. Thankfully, we did know that her recovery, she has kind of woken up and things like that, and she's recovered a little bit since then. But I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing her back up and active in the community at some point soon. But I know obviously the road to recovery is probably a little bit long for herself, so hopefully she's doing well. But shout out to all the support that you guys always give us with the memberships and the super chats and everything. It always means a big deal to us, of course, because it helps, of course, support the channel and continue to make it grow and add new things and make it better for you guys. So of course we can keep bringing new content here, better content. So thank you again for all the support. But yes, final thing from us, of course, we will be diving into doing little shorts, whether that be just little kind of quick news updates on little kind of news topics that have been mentioned, or whether it be kind of little shorts of maybe funny moments from Sea of Thieves streams or funny moments from other streams. We'll be putting them on shorts as well. We'll be diving into that in some way, shape, or form to add another layer of content to the channel. So, of course, expect that in the coming weeks when we figured out kind of how we want to go forward with that. But there's going to be plenty there from across several of our channels, whether it be from Pat's live streams or Perunplux or Jen's or Mix. Any funny moments or anything like that we find that we're going to put onto the short. Of course, we'll be going on there. Expect shorts to be probably 2-3 times a week. Of course, they're going to be much smaller segments. They're going to be like 30 seconds to a minute long, not long at all. Nice bite-sized. So you can kind of have little bits in between our big shows, which of course is Sea of Tuesdays, every Tuesday at 8 p.m. UK, 3 p.m. Eastern. You've got, of course, the Midweek Mix-Up podcast every Wednesday at 7 p.m. or 2 p.m. Eastern. And, of course, the Weekend Edition, which, of course, is 7 p.m. every Sunday, of course, 2 p.m. Eastern. And then shorts and bigger, some gameplay live streams in between that as well, depending on availability and scheduling, etc. But yes, massive shout out to everybody. Of course, support these awesome chaps with all of their content, whether it be on YouTube or Twitch, all part of the awesome Midweek Mix-Up collective and crew. And of course, shout out to our moderators as usual in the chat, doing an awesome job. And of course, hope to see all them jumping in on the streaming or content creation as well in the future, because I know a lot of them have got aspirations to do that. And of course, we'll be there to support them doing that as well. But until next time, chaps, hope you all have an awesome evening. Thank you very much for stopping by. Thank you for all the support. Enjoy your gaming. And until next week, of course, have a great night. Goodbye.
See you guys.